Hey, Lantern. We'll be getting started probably like 2 to 4 minutes or so. I just have my loading screen on and some loading music playing, but we'll get to it.
I see. Yeah,
There's a lot to go over today.
yeah, and I told you this caveat that there are storms in my area, so
I am thinking good thoughts for your energy infrastructure that you will be able to make it through. If you drop out, I'll understand. I understand, man. Like you can't control the weather.
I think that's what happened last night.
I think so too.
The
But yeah, no, I mean, there's only so much you can do. You know, like you can't make the weather not suck today. Sorry.
Yeah, I probably did the rain dance wrong.
Apparently, you know, we should appease the volcano god. Probably, that's what I'm thinking. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Geeky Yellow Lantern, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful Friday. I enjoyed my day off greatly. But it is Friday night. It's 9 o'clock. It may be 15 minutes past, but it's late, but it is still time, of course, for Coast to Ghost. Holy shit. Lots has happened this week. In order to prove themselves as a man, a woman decided to shoot up a school and kill 3 children and 3 older people, including the child of a pastor that was counseling her. So there was some personal vengeance involved in this as well. On top of that, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is indicted on literally trumped up charges. Literal trumped up charges. Effectively 41 counts of business fraud, something that obviously should be handled in civil court, if at all, and would be probably result in a fine of to some degree. But But no, apparently it's a criminal indictment. So, oh boy, it's gonna be big. Um, but I'm joined by Geeky and Yellow Lantern, and Mountain Walk says he's available tonight. So hopefully, Mountain Walk will drop in sometime later tonight. Gentlemen, how are you this week? This is a big week for a lot of things
Well,
happening.
it's funny. I don't do about
What?
Your audio
social
quality is kind
stuff.
of cutting out, Geeky.
Hold on. Second, let me hop back in.
Oh, yeah, he's. All right, try speaking now.
But better. I don't know.
I'll turn you up.
Okay. All right. So,
All right.
the real tragic that happened in the last week, and that is Tree being canceled and dead.
Yeah, just
Finally.
cutting out every like few times you try to talk. Like I'm, what? Like it's like you talk and then it cuts, talks and it cuts.
I was on the new phone with AirPods, so I'm wondering if
Oh,
it's
well, what do you have? Do you have like a headset or something, or?
not compatible with phones because I'm an Apple
Oh,
apparently.
okay. All right, then we're gonna try to push through this. All right, so let's try again. Those AirPods are not very good. You might have to like actually hold them up to your mouth. It might be kind of obnoxious.
Better.
Yes, much better.
Okay. What I'm saying is the real news that E3 is canceled and dead finally.
Oh,
Oh
this is the worst
no!
thing in the worst thing, I'll tell you.
Oh no, guys! I was really looking forward to looking at game trailers that I could look at simultaneously online. And Jeff Keighley, the Dorito Pope, to sell me Mountain Dew to play Halo. What? We 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 are not so back, boys. We're not so back. We are so not back. Yes.
And the
Yellow
best thing
Lantern
was that
is. I was good. Okay, go ahead.
I would say the best thing is that Ubisoft was the one that dealt the death blow out of all the companies.
Oh, they pulled out.
Yeah, Ubisoft was the last company to pull out, and then they canceled it.
Oh, is this the gonna be this week gonna be the first day of Trumpism being an official national holiday? Are we going the route of Argentina?
Well, or South Korea or Brazil. I mean, South Korea had like 5 presidents
Get
in.
arrested.
Yeah.
Where
But
where where are we going from here?
but wasn't the
Well,
Brazilian guy a socialist though?
the current president was thrown in jail too, but
He was jailed
apparently,
because everyone gets jailed in politics in Brazil, right? Because
I mean,
they're all corrupt. I mean, everywhere. But like, yeah, no, it's. I think wasn't there not a single like Brazilian president that wasn't thrown in jail? Or am I thinking? No, it's South Korea, right? It's South Korea that hasn't ever had a former president not go to jail.
I mean, well, remember Brazil was was ruled by a military junta until for like 21 years from the 60s to the mid 80s.
What was
So
their way
it's
of choosing a leader, though? Was it like appointed, or was it like a council? Like what? Like I get that
That's the
it's a
person
military
to
junta, but like what was their selection method for their
it
leader?
was it's hierarchy, I suppose. Generals based on
Okay.
military
Oh, so it's
hierarchy.
literally military hierarchy determines who's the leader.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So, roundabout way merit, basically. You know, whoever's the most accomplished promoted general is at the head of the
And the
hierarchy.
reason it had to, well, there was an impending socialist takeover, and these people
Now,
were
was that
basically.
Lula? Was that the Lula at the time when he was in power?
Yeah, well, he was the Labor Party. I mean, the funny thing is, I think the Brazilian Constitution explicitly outlaws the Communist Party, but then
So now
it's
we're
like
the Socialist Party, or the Labor Party, or
they bought it. Partida de Trabajo is the official party that Lula represents, but
they're basically the legal Communist Party.
yeah, it's the same thing. He pretends to be the center left center left moderate, but in reality he governs. There's
But they
pictures
had
of
a
him.
center left moderate. It was Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro was barely. I mean, he had been in politics for like over 40 years as a in like 20 years as a Rio de Janeiro representative, and he had actually been in the military during the coup, like during the rule of the military.
I know he has a bit of a cult following there. He was very well liked in Brazil, and obviously when there were shady conditions around his election, people were reasonably suspicious that there was fishy business going on there. Like, hey, wait a minute. I don't know where I've ever heard this story before, but
A little bit of
yeah.
fortification.
Yep.
Yeah, there definitely was. I mean, it's pretty much undeniable. And plus, the Supreme Court of Brazil is like genuinely loathsome. They they threw people in jail on social media posts. They literally made a lot of Bolsonaro's campaigning illegal. They had given like I'm legit like it makes all the for all the faults of our Supreme Court, the Brazilian Supreme Court is just absolutely like
Ours can be
unforgivable.
very bad, but theirs is awful, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, the situation in Brazil was quite interesting. I mean, when that panned out, and then Bolsonaro, I think wisely went to Florida. Like I think he should have stayed in Florida. Honestly, like I mean, people say like, oh, you're running away. It's like, yeah, but like, come on, a communist is in charge of his country. They have no compunction against utilizing the legal system to punish their political enemies. I mean, most politicians don't have any issue punishing their political enemies, system. But, you know,
Mhm.
they also, I
Well,
believe, isn't Lula doing more gun bans there too? Like right away,
yeah,
that was like the first thing
it's
he
kind of
did.
funny is that under Bolsonaro, the murder rate literally dropped by a significant margin because he allowed civilians to carry weapons.
And he
You
allowed them to
know,
shoot motorcyclists.
yes,
Motorcycle
motorcyclists.
robbers.
Well,
If
also, wasn't Bolsonaro shot too while running for president?
he was stabbed, actually, he was
Okay,
stabbed as he
he was
was,
stabbed.
and he recovered fast. And of the election, like 2018, was like everyone was like because he won with like over 57%. I think 57% of the vote total, and he won over two provinces that swung to the right, the Amazon province, and the another state.
I mean, how could you
Because
not vote for the guy that survived a stab attack? I mean, like,
I mean, and then people were just really just fed up with everything because the previous president actually got in. Well, the president that was elected got impeached in 2016. She because I mean,
oh, she was super
corruption is
corrupt
a
too, right? Didn't she like?
Yeah,
There was the whole Zika scandal she botched too, right?
yeah, and it was just too blatantly obvious. Even her own party disavowed her, and
They
the
basically
Brazilian
told her,
Senate.
"Ma'am, this cannot go on."
Yeah, like it was just so obvious. And Brazil was in like a economic depression. It was she was just like it was just that, and then the vice
yet
president
we gave
took over.
Brazil the fucking Olympics and the World Cup to be hosted in 2 years apart.
Well, I mean, like, honestly, that timing is probably pretty good because you can reuse facilities, right? Because you think of Olympic projects and those, like, usually they build them and they don't get much use out of them later. But, um, yeah. But I mean, like, what do you mean? I mean, the international community gave it to them. They chose it. Yeah, like when they gave it to China in was that 14? In 14.
Oh eight was
Oh wait, was it 08? I don't remember.
08 was
Uh,
summer, and then Beijing
Oh,
was.
I haven't actually. Yolanda, do you have an update on the Bolsonaro story? Because I know he's going back to Brazil.
Eventually, because well, he said he didn't approve of people making a mess at the capital, but he understood their sentiments. And there's many people are already starting to fall out of Lula. Apparently, he's making deals with the Chinese, trying to dump the dollar for trade in yuans, and people are now like, someone said, I guess the CIA is regretting their
Color, the
CIA,
color revolution.
yeah, I mean, U.S. stupidity is.
Are you
ultimately to blame.
telling me that the deep state and three-letter agencies fucked up again and delivered yet another strong U.S. ally within our sphere of influence into the hands of China? Or another strong potential U.S. ally with a massive burgeoning economy into the hands of China, our biggest competitor?
No,
Like
that was Twitter.
how many countries is the CIA going to deliver into the hands of China? Like they delivered Russia into the hands of China, Saudi Arabia into the hands of China, Iran into the hands of China, Brazil into the hands of China. Like how many? Come on, guys, tell me. Where does it stop? You guys done losing yet? Like what the fuck, guys?
You do realize the CIA was promoting communism all the time. Believe it or not, it's as long as it was anti.
Oh no, I mean
during the
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the Cold War, there was a lot of this is what people like Thomas 777 and Bronze Age Pervert talk about all the time. That the U.S. intelligence department was basically extremely inconsistent about policy, whether it would be anti-Soviet or just anti-communism, and a lot of
Well, the
times
reality
the
is
other.
we have to get rid of these agencies. You know, our country cannot survive with these agencies subverting our entire country and our place on the national stage because it's going to end badly, and they're going to then react to the circumstances that they back themselves into badly, and we're all going to get fucked. Yeah, they
Wasn't
have to
like
go.
George Bush like in charge of the CIA too? So this makes it
No,
even
you're
more
thinking of
ironic.
George H.W. Bush was the CIA director before he was vice president for Reagan.
Yeah.
Ironic, isn't it?
Not really ironic. I mean, it's a
Well,
powerful position. I'm sure he did favors that earned him, political success and then political success for his son. But, he decided that we were going to go invade, we're going to go take out Saddam Hussein's armies in the Gulf, which surprisingly did not spiral out of control. But
man, it's been 20 years, and there's
Gulf
almost
conflict?
barely
It's been less than
no
20. Oh, you're
uh,
Iraq.
Iraq War II basically,
Yeah.
and then the U.S. went
Oh
back
yeah.
when ISIS came in, basically Iraq War III back in 2014.
Don't worry, Iraq War 4 is going to be the big one.
Mm. Well, I mean, let's follow on. The other thing is, so yeah, we have this indictment on basically trumped up anarcho tyranny charges, but
Well, I
other
mean,
defending
literally,
outlaws.
it's the opposition candidate for the affirmed sitting president of the United States is being literally indicted for political reasons because, for some reason, they fear him. I don't know why, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, you know what they say. Russians with attitude made it funny. I think Kirill said, "We were warning that eventually, the West would probably start a bit of a Ukrainianization of their own politics." And I guess he wasn't. I
Well,
guess it came
I
in.
don't disagree with that because I think when Western powers, people at the World Economic Forum, like people like Macron, people like Angela Merkel, I know she's not in power anymore, when Joe Biden, when they look at countries like China and Ukraine, like that's what they mean when they say democracy. Ukraine is what they mean when they say democracy, where you can shut down your political opponents, you can jail political opposition, you can shut down churches and organizations that you find adverse to your interests. Like that's what they mean by, modern liberal world order. It's nothing liberal about
Well,
it, but
And your president
that's
can
how
be
they want
doing
to
coke
govern.
and nobody cares.
Yep,
they really
that's how
put
they
the.
want to govern.
It
That's why they
reminds me
say
of.
we have to save Ukraine because they love the idea of Ukraine and they love what Ukraine has done in cracking down on their own people and oppressing their own people because that's what they want to do to us. They love what China's done because China has modernized tyranny in such a way using, social media and tech companies and how well interlinked they are. Like they want to apply that more forcefully here than they are. Which is why they oppose the
But
Twitter sale so strongly.
it's it's the demon in democracy. There's actually a good book. That's the title from a book about the totalitarian impulses that hide in so-called democracies.
Well, I mean, the
mean,
leaders all have totalitarian impulses because they're incompetent. They're incompetent. They are not well put together people. They're not smart people. They know there are more talented and intelligent people out there, and they need to keep them down so they can raise themselves up.
Mm.
Spiteful. They're spiteful, hateful people that, reach positions of power to try and fill the empty void in their hearts.
Well, it's also the fact that because of the age of mass democracy and managerial rule, the administrative state, this is how things basically operate. Power basically doesn't like to be seen, and the people in charge pretend they have no power, or the
Pretty
groups.
clear how much power they have. I mean, you see,
I mean,
you see these social media companies and their communications, and like how often they've been using them. Like it was obvious before, the Twitter files happened, right? It was like, yeah, you guys are obviously collaborating with Twitter and Facebook and Amazon. You're obviously coordinating with all these companies. Like it's obvious. Like that's why it's like Twitter files come out. Oh, well, yeah, we knew this. We're not dumb. Okay, of course you were ordering them to take down certain information and change stories and and the best part of what they had for them is they didn't even have to do it. They just had to put that notion in the heads of those companies and they would do it for them. They'd be like, oh yeah, they'll be happy if I do this. They've got it to such a degree that they're just working for doing their bidding without even having to be asked to do it. They just know what needs to be done. It's like, oh yeah, I know they need us to suppress this story because it's adverse to the interests. Address to our party's interests, so we'll go suppress this story.
So there's other trials, before we get to this indictment and the Ricky Vaughn. The other one that
Ricky
happened earlier
Vaughn.
this week is the Internet Arc.
Wait,
The
who's the
judge
Ricky
ruled
Vaughn?
in.
Who?
Oh, so Douglas McKesky, he was just found
Who?
guilty. The person that they arrested early on after Trump left office, his name was Douglas
Oh,
McKesky.
wait, is this the guy who sent a meme that you could vote by email?
By text.
By text message?
Yes.
Right. I remember this case. This case, and if we're fortunate, this case gets thrown out on obvious First Amendment grounds, right? Because,
Well, the thing is, they charged him under a law to execute the
like
freedom of
sedition or
command.
something, or
No, it was depriving someone of the right to vote.
yeah, civil rights laws.
No. Civil rights. I'm talking about Reconstruction,
Oh,
like the Ku Klux Klan. Like laws meant to.
cutting out. Oh no, did the
Yeah,
storm get him?
No. I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay. I thought it was.
Thought we'd lost you.
Thought it was one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
So
there's
were
that.
they laws to protect like voting rights of people that were new citizens or something, or?
Kind of. I mean, Reconstruction wasn't exactly a peaceful time, considering this group sprung up to the union leagues and the various other leagues, like using militia members of the freedmen. They were going around, disenfranchised Southerners. And even in case they would also even intimidate blacks who did not vote. There was a case in like the riot in Meridian because of this was from the book that Virgin was reading passages from. It's called Invisible Empire, which talks about the story of the Klan. That really the Klan was only really active for about 5 or 6 years, and it wasn't even the most prominent of the anti-Reconstruction militias that that sprung up in the aftermath of the war. But I digress. And there was this and so the other big one that came out of the news was Internet Archive losing its appeal.
Really?
You guys yeah. Well, it lost its case. Basically, the judge ruled in favor of the plaintiffs, Chuck Wendig and another Neil, because he had sued Internet Archive for archiving his books because, he sucked.
But he owned the copyright or the trademark. He owned the copyright on his book, right?
Yeah, and the problem is that so basically, what had happened was, let me look up the case. Oh, hey, Palomina, it's April Fool's Day, and it's the 1st of April.
But if
It's
you
almost April
own the
Fool's for me.
copy, if you own the copyright, though, does that mean like
Well, I think
archiving it?
what was the ruling? Did the ruling say that they could not host it, or did like because were they archiving when he hosted it publicly? Like I'm trying to understand like where the lawsuit comes in.
So basically, this started out 3 years ago. Um, the judge ruled that Internet Archive infringed upon the copyrights of the four plaintiff publishers because they were scanning and lending their books under a legally contested practice known as controlled digital lending.
But what does that mean?
Um, so, so this happened on the 1st of June, 2020. Oh God, this was during the time when everything was going to crap, in my opinion. But so the four plaintiffs represented Hatchet, HarperCorp, Penguin, Random House, and Wiley. They involved that so the case was that about over 120 books and works of the plaintiffs' publishers, which was a sample of the 33,000 works had to be included in the library, is that um, basically Internet Archive was scanning these books and putting them out for free in violation of copyright laws.
That sounds like a
Um,
violation of copyright law. I
In a
mean,
way, yeah.
I mean these are copyright. I mean, like I'm trying to, but like it seems like an open and shut copyright case that obviously they lost, right?
yes. Well, see, so
You're saying it
basically,
like you were expecting them to not lose this case, and I'm actually more curious about that.
well, I mean, I could see where the arguments go in both ways. So the truth is, Internet Archives, the ruling was that the wholesale copying and unauthorized lending of digital copies of publishers' print books was not ruled transformative enough, and the fact that Internet Archive
Well, I think it's
profits from
covered by the
splitting.
DMCA, right, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Well, it wasn't really DMCAing. It was they were lending, but they were also making money off of it. So
Oh,
Yeah, you're fucked if you
yeah,
do that.
which I mean, in this case, so there was basically it was a license for libraries. The fallout is that
yeah. What are the consequences of this? Because this sounds like, I guess that's probably where things get interesting.
so basically this could be bad for this could be bad for them lending out books because they have a lot of books that are old and out of print. So the
It's like a
damages they could be sued for.
preservation of like literature
Hmm.
and history. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that sucks. So, but I mean, it sounds like they're legally sound on this.
Yeah, and so the idea is, so they're arguing it's like it sucks because some the only way to read some books online is to pay like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for licensing. And Internet Archive was basically saying we were doing a good thing, like getting things available.
I
Um,
feel
no,
like
try,
if I wanted to be diplomatic and unlegally sound, I think like the way I would have, if I was a dictator, I would handle it. Be like, well, is the book published and available? Like when's the last time it was available? Do you have plans to publish it? Like if you submit plans to publish it, they'll remove it from the Internet Archive. Like
mhm.
that's what I would do if I was a supreme leader, Emperor Palpatine. But
Right.
realistically, copyright law, unfortunately, has a lot of tendrils in it that make it very
Well,
complicated.
so the argument, the plaintiff, so the thing they said was that what they were doing. So I'm not opposed to like archiving documents of old stuff and things, but what they were doing was they probably were taking it too far with scanning newly released books or papers that had paywalls, and they were
That
using it to.
sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, it was. I think it was just too. I think they overstepped the fair use.
They were a bit, yeah, they overstepped fair use. That's for sure. That sounds a bit brazen, you know, like
Hmm.
it's the. I mean, like that. Yeah, that sounds like not a wise move. But what are the so this though is a landmark ruling, right? Because they've never really ruled on this. They've left this alone more or less a lot, right?
Well, yeah, but people blame this. I think the person that gets the most ire is Chuck Wendig. The reason why was that um,
Sounds like
he
a
was
fictional
a
character. I'm Chuck Wendig, you know. But
yeah, well, he's hated because he was the one who raised a big stink at Internet Archive because someone had just uploaded his book there without his because well, I mean nobody read his books. Most people mocked him for being a bad writer, for, you know,
yeah, I mean, I can understand
his
that.
Star Wars books. I mean, someone told me like not only is there abysmal dialogue, but he had a scene where like a stormtrooper, like somebody was like fleeing a stormtrooper on a skate or something or hoverboard. They just seemed
Terrible derivative nonsense, basically.
yeah.
But he was mad that they I mean, so you're telling me that this whole thing fell apart because one dude they decided to mess with what they upload one guy's book that no one liked or read.
Well, I think, but the fact that there was four plaintiffs from different publishing companies, I feel like these were just larger issues, and it was like the issue surrounding them opening up like an emergency library. Yeah.
Uh, cut out there.
I think you'll let me link you the article, the judgments that like what was the decision.
Take a look, and I will give it my most professional legal analysis that I am able to
Mhm.
give.
Yes, come on, load it. So
Oh
this is
yeah,
the
send the rocket off, Neon. All right, let's take a
video.
look. Swift decision. Judge eviscerates Internet Archive's scanning and lending program. 7-page opinion. John G. Quettle founded the Internet Archive infringed the copyrights of 4 plaintiff publishers by scanning lending their books under a legally contested practice known as controlled digital lending. After 3 years of contentions, legal wrangling, the case wasn't even close. So, at bottom, IA's Internet Archive's fair use defense rests on the notion that lawfully acquiring a copyrighted print book entitles the recipient to make an unauthorized copy and distribute it in place of the print book, so long as it does not simultaneously lend the print book. Coetto wrote in a March 24th opinion, granting the publisher's plaintiff's motion for summary judgment and denying the Internet Archive's cross motion. But no case or legal principle supports that notion. Every authority points the other direction. Yeah, that's So they were saying that because they weren't lending the physical book, they were allowed to unlimitedly lend the digital copy of it. Like,
So yeah,
that's complicated, right? Because they bought the book, right? They own that book. They own the book, and they're allowed to do with that actual book whatever they want. But
yeah, it's
yeah,
it's kind of a like I feel like if they had just um stuck with old copies of books, just like things from like the early like from the
yeah,
private
like books that are people have dead authors or are in the public domain.
yeah. Like I think that's fine. But what they were doing was since they moved to people who were like recently published books and lending stuff like and they made a profit of it, which the original authors did not. So this could fall under copyright infringement.
I would say that I would agree that that's copyright infringement. At least within the
But, yeah.
context of how copyright is defined. Like that sounds to me a lot like copyright infringement. But yeah, so this means they're gonna have to get rid of any of their books they're lending, basically.
Well, yeah, they'll have to either pay a fee and give like portions of the money to the publishers to do it, or they
Honestly,
can't they cannot post.
the publisher wouldn't accept that because they would rather just digitally sell it on Amazon. Right?
I mean, on the one hand, like, yeah, so it sucks for them because this, depending on how much damages they pay, the whole website could go under.
Yeah. No, and that would be. I mean, there are other archives out there for sure, but it would be tragic to lose this one.
hmm Okay, so basically the teal deer was that during the lockdown, they made copies of books they didn't buy. Usually, the libraries have to buy the books, then lend them to the bought ones.
Right.
And so, um, Internet Archive, they removed that requirement and made extra copies of the books to start distributing them. Chuck Wendig, the guy who sort of see fit because they had some of his books on there, despite him not giving them permission to buy it, or they didn't buy it. He pointed out the publishers then sued them after he pointed them out. And this ruling said that what Internet Archive did was wrong. They inflicted copyright infringements.
I don't like copyright patent trolls, but like I have to say, they're actually in the right.
Yeah, and sometimes Internet Archive has always not been so good. For example, Internet Archive excludes links to certain websites that it considers "quote unquote" objectionable, like
Yeah.
4chan and Kiwi Farms. I think is in the ban list, which I mean I could see why if it hosts docs personal information. I think it's archives like we're not like that. We don't want to. We don't want to be. You don't want to be that website, I suppose.
Yeah,
But
I'd agree. You really wouldn't want to promote that website, but you know, it does not help to not have a historical record of these sites.
yeah, and like I said, they will. They will. The archive is susceptible to third-party pressure campaigns. They will get.
Humans do run it, at the end of the day.
Yeah, there was DMCA.
Flawed men run it, so.
Yeah, there are cases when they receive DMCA takedown notices, and they will like they'll just be removed from the Wayback Machine as well.
Really?
There's a good article I think I saw on Gizmo.
Does it have to concern copyrighted material specifically?
Just certain websites. I don't know if someone like files a complaint, under legal pressure. The point is, like, Internet Archive really doesn't put up a lot of resistance to like things being removed.
Yeah, and I think stuff like that is why I don't really agree with what people do, like on the Kiwi farms. I kind of, I respect their leaders' tenacity and, you know. Oh, hold on. I'm going to make mute and deafen so I don't blow out your ears. But I will be right back because big friend Mountain Walk has just subscribed to the channel again. Mountain Walk, thank you so much for your support of the Ghost Gang, the Spectre Squad, the Boo Crew, the Unhobaloo, the Undead, the Everslash, the Bully Posse, the Phantasm Phalanx. Thank you so much, Mountain Walk, for your continued support as the black experience that is the Ghost Gang. I remember Mountain Walk. The way in and out of this gang is in a bike. body bag. Thank you so much, Mountain Walk, for your continued support.
No.
All right, I'm back.
So yeah, Mountain Walker's here now, and I was just explaining the Internet Archive lawsuit that they had just lost because. So to catch you up to speed, Mountain Walker, Teal Deer was Internet Archive was sued, removing a requirement like
Uh,
having because they were lending out books without having the requirement to actually buy them first. These were digital prints.
Yeah.
Chuck Wendig, who was upset when he found out that his book was included on that, threw a fit and drew attention to it, which caused four big publishers to notice and then sue Internet Archive.
Damn.
And just this past week, the judge ruled in favor of the plaintiffs by saying that the fair use arguments that Internet Archive was putting forward did not meet the scrutiny because they were essentially infringing on copyrighted material by bypassing the required thing. You know, at the library, you need to buy the books before you can lend them out to people. And Internet Archive didn't do that, so they said that the plaintiffs were correct.
Huh.
I hate to say it, right, but I think they're correct. You know,
I mean,
based on the
And-
facts of the case, I mean,
I mean,
especially,
yeah.
especially the fact that they're like, they were making money off it too. Like it kind of,
that's true.
that kind of
Yeah, when you-
bites him in the ass.
Yeah, when you start profiting off of someone else's stuff, like actual like content that they made, copyright content, I mean, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, that's
You're gonna
that
have a
would be,
bad
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like just
I
in
mean-
general, yeah.
The worst thing is like I can see where it's just that they wanted to try to be a library because the intention was good because it's like, okay, libraries are closing down from the lockdown. People don't. We need to for now we'll loosen our requirements. Oh, Geeky has to go. He'll be back. He needed to go.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do see, I do see the, what are the argument they're making, about like, hey, the libraries are closing down, COVID has turned over our entire, culture and society and everything, and we want to preserve a little bit, of like our books and literature, but, selling access to someone else's copyrighted material, usually not a good idea, right, Mountain Walk? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, without knowing the facts of the case or whatever, like the specifics. I mean, yeah, it's one thing if you're just like, whatever, this is just stuff we're preserving or like presenting to you or whatever for posterity, but like, oh yeah,
And even
we're
then, you're
also
probably
making
still going to
money
get in
off of
trouble
it.
about it, right? Even
Right.
then.
Right. Yeah, that seems like, and we're making money off it. It's like, oh, well, then, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
You shouldn't have did
there's,
this.
yeah, I mean, it's for better or worse, and I would say for better generally. Like we have very strong copyright protections, and we're not like China. You can't just rip stuff off and reproduce things without the creators. sort
Don't
of,
tell me what I can't do,
permission.
Mountain Walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah,
So
I get you.
yeah, I would say in general, like this is it's probably a good thing. I mean, again, I'm not a legal expert, but yeah, I tend to err on the side of like, even in a case like this, I would tend to err on the side of the people that are the creators of the thing, whatever, rather than like the people that are
The
like
thing.
yeah, the thing. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, so yeah, that's my 2 cents. My 5,000-foot view sort of opinion on this kind of stuff.
10,000 foot, 500 IQ view of this.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. I think they took it too far, and they they've done fucked up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm really happy that this kind of like these archiving things exist because like there are just some people or websites or whatever that just don't care about the stuff that they produce. You know, they're just like, oh, whatever, we're not going to save this. It doesn't matter. Like, who
And
cares? You
that's
know,
like the case you want to see, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, let's preserve this thing, because we
right,
should see it. And then it's like,
right. Well, I was unaware that they profited off this. I'm like, wait, what? But I mean, I guess
you hop into
it's
some
not fair
very gray
charity.
area when you're profiting off of it,
Yeah, yeah, and so like I mean, that's a little. I was completely unaware of that, but in general, yeah, I think these websites are great, but yeah, it's unfortunate that yeah, there's gonna be. I mean, honestly, I thought I know he mentioned a little bit earlier about like them getting pressured to take down content, and I am almost. I remember back in the old days when there was that concern for ethics in a certain sort of space of gaming, and I think I remember hearing about like there being pressure on like Internet Archive and things like that to take down certain things because they made these people look bad or these companies look bad because they're saying like
It depends
contradictory
on the
things.
journalist, Mountain Walk.
Depends on the journalist. Oh no. So yeah, that. But I don't think they ever like acquiesced or whatever to those requests. So
Oh,
I'm
and
not.
Neon Hati in the chat asked, would it have worked if they were a non-profit? I think they would have had a better case, but I still think it would have fallen
Sure.
apart in court.
Yeah, I mean,
But I still
again,
think the authors would have
yeah.
claims to damages from, their works being, shared outside of like a library or,
Mhm.
some digital service that would compensate them. It's
Yeah.
weird though, right? Because like by that, what if I rent out a book? I guess it's because the library buys the book and rents it out versus you buying the book, and then of course the ones where they didn't buy the book, they're completely in the wrong. But like it's I don't. Do you think this ruling? I guess I'm going. Do you think this ruling will will spiral out and kind of affect other things?
I mean, I
I
hope
don't
not.
think I don't think so because it only related to the specific instance in which Internet I removed the requirement to purchase. Like if they had just purchased the books and then licensed them out, lending them, I don't think there would be an issue because they would give money to the publishers themselves, and they had gotten their permission.
I
Whereas
think they would have
what
had a
they
much
did,
stronger case if they
yeah,
had done that.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
no, I mean,
I
especially
agree.
with the not paying for the book, it's like, oh, bruh.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, it's. I don't know. I mean, it just like in a perfect world, like yeah, this makes sense. This is a good thing to just preserve as much stuff in history as we can. Like, even if it just seems superfluous or whatever, I think in general that's just a good thing.
Have
Um,
human records of this.
yeah, yeah. And, but we don't live in a perfect world. And unfortunately, uh, they I think it is in general just good
But like,
to
what
be
if we
really.
lost Chris Chan's entirety of his work? Wouldn't we all be worse off for it?
That's
Imagine.
true.
well, I mean, I think the less people know about that guy, the better. I think
I don't
all
know.
things
I don't
considered.
know. I mean, I don't want to
Listen,
lose Chris Chan. I don't want to lose
listen.
Chris Chan.
He's Jesus, right? Wasn't that what he said? Like he is Jesus Christ, come back to.
Did he say that? Wow. Yeah.
I think
Jeez.
did he write like a really schizo letter explaining how
Yeah.
like I am the second coming of the Messiah?
My
I mean,
favorite.
wow. Wow. Jeez, yeah, that's top tier
I
schizophrenia.
forgot the part in the Bible where Jesus said that supersonic,
Super
supersonic and
Pikachu,
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 yeah,
yeah,
supersonic Pikachu came down and smote the money changers in the temples, right? Like,
yeah,
I forgot about that passage.
yeah, that was in the New Testament. Yeah, they just took that part out because it was too
I believe that
based,
was
right?
Weston Viticus 3, 31415
Oh
59
no. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry for the Christian. Uh,
I still love the one video where he had on his webcam, like he was trying to shoot a video, but it had deteriorated to the point where it would randomly skip, and the way it sounded, it made it sound like it was like a YTP. You know what I mean?
I don't know what a YTP is, but I'm
Yeah,
curious now.
a YouTube poop. You know those videos where,
What?
What?
yeah. So there was a style of video on YouTube called a YTP, where people would they would take a show or some and they would make it funnier with things like sentence chopping or cutting or like different clips, and it would just be so transformative that some people would just either be gags or
You're
sometimes
kind
it
of
just
talking
create
about like
entire.
DBZ the abridged series, but like more machinima-y,
Yeah, kind of like
or Yu-Gi-Oh the
there was a lot
abridged,
of
where they like they redubbed it, but like instead of that, it just like recutting it basically.
yeah. It was pretty funny. Like some of these, let me look like example of this. Uh, so the penultimate example is the Fresh Prince of Blair, which is about this is hilarious sentence cutting like of that show.
French Prince
Um,
of Blair or the Fresh Prince of isn't it Bel Air?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but the
the.
joke is it's sentence cut, so it's the Fresh Prince of Blair. Oh wait, oh I didn't.
Is Blair like a city in the UK, or is there a?
No, it's a play. Let me show you. Posted the thumbnail of the video. So this guy, so because you get the jokes, is like, oh, it's just like a regular episode, but this time it's different. It's got edited stuff, and this is like one of the oldest, most cited examples of it.
Now, was Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air?
Yes, I mean he was basically the main character.
Was he fresh? Wealthy family?
Yes, truly
Okay.
Yeah,
fresh.
he was sent from Philadelphia to Bel Air because he got into a pretty big.
He fell into the wrong crowd, I'm guessing. It was kind of like, hey, man, this is your. You either shape up or ship out.
Yeah, well, I mean the intro song
I think so.
basically
Yeah.
explains. And the show ran for like 6 years from 1991 to 1997, I think. What's interesting is that throughout the show, as they grow up, the interesting, like, I think the mother character of the family that Will Smith, he's visiting his cousins, he's going to live with his aunt and uncle, and apparently, like, they actually replaced the actor for the mother because the original one was kind of upset that she was being constantly upstaged. She didn't realize. Well, I mean, you're not one of like the supporting characters.
You
There
didn't
wasn't a lot of
realize that
episodes.
Will Smith at the time was the main character
It's true.
Yeah,
He
with
was.
his flesh clean rap, I believe, right? In the
yeah.
big thing.
So
Yeah.
you guys watching this Chuku? Because
I intend to eventually, but okay. So I've actually never seen the show, so I feel like I won't get like the effect of it.
yeah,
No,
it's
but
just it's your typical like 90s sitcom.
It's
You
it's
know,
Reddit
it,
cringe, basically, right? Like, sorry,
it's
no, I
not
mean,
really
what?
cringe.
Sorry, not that. I mean, what the creators of it did, right? Recutting it. It's like typical Reddit cringe, or is it like, does it
No, it
ascend
actually
beyond that?
it's some of the parts are really funny. Like some of the sentence cutting is funny. Like if you watch it, because the intent is like, when you sentence cut something, you could make them say like a curse word where they originally didn't, or like create an entirely new sentence out of
Change the
like
meaning of
'cause
things.
yeah, they cut the sentences or the dialogue, and a lot of funny things. That's the intended thing. Like here's an example of another one. Like this is an example like of all the cartoons to get the YTP treatment, SpongeBob is the most popular.
I mean, that makes sense. SpongeBob, really big cartoon, really popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Here,
it's
here's
loved
an example.
internationally.
Here's a
I love SpongeBob. SpongeBob has the best memes. Best memes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like
I do.
here's an example of another older one that was uh so what this YTP is a parrot is kind of like a parody of the episode where SpongeBob thinks that Mr. Krabs is a robot, and there's gags involving like there's some old memes because this was made around the time the John Cena memes took off in 2015, and they're
John Cena memes would be like when people would call a phone and they'd have like a recording of someone yelling John Cena, if I recall.
yeah.
His name is John Cena.
Yes.
And then his music
Dun,
applies.
dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the thing. Even John Cena himself got in on the act a couple times. There was a meme where he just like he popped out of the wall. Someone was
When
visiting.
John Cena isn't bending over backwards to appease China, he sometimes is quite a.
He's a memer.
He's a memer.
There's
Yeah,
some
other
there are also some really funny WWE WWE YTPs are actually like top notch as well.
Kino, one might say, right?
correct.
There actually are some. It's the same thing, like the sentence cutting, the insertion of random gags. Like it honestly took on a like now one of the guy and nowadays has unfortunately had to quit doing those and delete them because a lot of show companies started to.
You cut out for half of that conversation.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I yawned. Well, the reason that some YTP kind of fell out of fashion was because, they get copyright struck, or content ID'd, or like matched. They'd be demonetized if they try
Even
to
though
do
a
it.
YTP is clearly transformed, and it's no problem, Neon. Thank you for trying, man. But I mean, like, it's clearly transformative, like literally. But
Yeah.
you know the funny part about this, Yellow Lantern? You imagine the YTPs that the AI are gonna make?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
and
how good those are gonna be?
And of course, I was just mentioning that, like, this started off because we talked about, like, yeah, he was trying to make this is like a clip of him, like, 2009 video. He let his webcam deteriorate to the point where his audio and video was skipping, cutting out. And it sounded like a YTP. Not to mention it was like the PSI webcam back in the day. So
So he's got
everything
like
had like
a PPP webcam, right, running at like 30
yeah,
frames
it
a
looked
second.
like yeah,
Oh no!
Gotcha.
Oh boy!
yeah, it was just awful. And of
He was
course,
moving in freeze frame.
yeah,
Did he eat like 80 chicken nuggets?
No, it
And
was
then
6 Big
puke?
Macs.
no,
I
No.
can probably eat 80 chicken nuggets.
And then
What if,
show
you know, I
his
wouldn't
asshole on stream.
I wouldn't eat 80 chicken nuggets from McDonald's, but I might eat 80 Dino Nuggets.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what?
Nuggies.
One of the fun parts about having a dinosaur VTuber friend is that they post all like the dinosaur memes, you know, and it's like, hey, listen, Dino Nugget, you know, today chickens are descended from dinosaurs. So when you're eating Dino Nuggies, you're eating you're eating them in the shape of their ancestors, basically.
Oh, that's great.
Now, real talk, what is your dipping sauce of choice for the Dino Nuggets?
Raw. I eat them raw, dog.
Raw dog.
Raw
You're raw
dog,
dogging
bro.
the
If
Dino
I'm gonna eat
Nuggies.
nuggets, full raw dog, no protection,
I
none
mean,
whatsoever.
I love like barbecue sauce, spicy mustard, like a
That's a
buffalo
spicy
pepper
mustard.
sauce, maybe even ranch or something. I mean, they're chicken nuggets are so perfect because you can use all these different sauces with them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just like to mix it up.
What's your opinion on the? Oh, sorry. I'll let you all give your answers. But after that, I want to hear thoughts on the dichotomy between tenders and nuggets. But
I mean, I love tendies and nuggies. I mean, you know,
I like both.
I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a both.
but what's better?
Oh, what's better? Oh, I couldn't answer that. I haven't
See,
even
Neon
thought about
Hati,
that.
he says honey with sesame. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
I'm a lemon
good.
pepper sauce guy or buffalo for my
Pepper.
chicken. But
I like lemon pepper on my chicken.
That's a good one. That sounds good.
It's hey, I don't know what that means in Italian, but it means something. Yo, Lantern, sauce of choice for nuggets.
You know, I'm not really a big sauce guy, but I always enjoy honey mustard if I had to choose.
You know, I don't like mustard a lot, but I think honey mustard's all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I get also for chicken tenders. Whenever I feel
You like your chicken with honey mustard? Okay, I get you.
Yeah, better than regular mustard though.
Yeah, no, it's not mustard because I don't like mustard either.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny is all the other types of mustards except the regular mustard I like. It's just
Yeah, for me it's just mustard gas. That's about it. Nothing else.
Mustard gas. Uh-oh.
I like throwing them on Syrians especially.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Well, it's been a wonderful day. But luckily, no one cares about Syria. Hooray!
Yeah. No one cares about Syria. Go away, Syria. You're not important anymore. We're not focusing on you.
Stop complaining about your airstrikes. Take it like the rest of us, okay?
That's
All right.
Yeah.
Move.
Like,
Okay, so honey mustard. Yeah, me, I go raw dog. Geeky or honey barbecue or
No, lemon pepper and I'm
lemon
buffalo.
pepper. You know, buffalo for me has too much sugar for my taste. Like, I don't like dislike it. It's just too sugary.
Eat healthy, Ghost.
I do eat healthy.
Chicken nuggies count as healthy, right?
Yeah,
I also eat
haven't
healthy.
actually. I have not had chicken nuggets in a long time. Mountain Walk.
That is bad for you. That is
Not make
very
like
bad.
keto chicken nuggets.
I do have a recipe. It just kind of makes a mess and is a pain in the ass to do, so I haven't done it in a while. You know. One of the things about living alone is I have to clean my damn kitchen, so you know, if I make keto nuggets, it's gonna be a giant frickin' mess. You know, you would look at my kitchen and be like, "You live like this, woman?" Like, I'm not a
You
woman,
live
but
like
yes.
Wait, you've not cut your hair so you look like a woman right now?
Well, no, my hair is not that long.
Dang. I mean that's no way to live. Not eating chicken nuggies, like. I mean,
No chicken nuggies, no tendies, nothing breaded, no bread, no rice, no grains.
I actually just ate rice today. Finished off the rice that I made earlier.
I will consume
I
your
just had
sweat
rice, yeah.
for sustenance. I will consume your sweat for sustenance, Maddock. Oh, you
No.
missed.
You
Oh
probably
my!
taste
Speaking
the
of
nuggies.
Oh my god, Justin.
speaking of consume for sustenance, you missed a very hilarious conversation. There was a survival situation going on in like a Star Wars show, and one of our
Okay.
friends was like, "Well, you gotta get the deer over here. You gotta get the gazelles so we can eat them or drink their piss.
Ooh.
So we can drink their piss." It's like, wait, why would you drink their piss? Well, it's like
Like-
for water. It's like they're gazelles. They have water. How are they alive if they don't have water?
Yeah. Drinking I mean, straight from the gazelle, or I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
you know, Matt, it's like, oh, it's like the people that, the people that like go to cannibalism like right away. You know, it's like there was food right there, dude.
it's been 15 minutes and they're already
It's been 15
eating
minutes. Well, we
Bob.
gotta eat some. We gotta eat Bob. There's
Yeah.
there's a dead rabbit over there.
No. That's been dead for too long. Yeah, that's
Who killed it?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's not like, oh, let's follow the gazelle to, where it's drinking
You
the
would
water.
think. No, it was like we gotta drink gazelle piss to survive.
Straight from the gazelle. Straight from the gazelle. Huh.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting.
We're going straight to pee pee poo poo instead.
Exactly. Hold on.
Mhm. Oh man. Straight to pee pee poo poo. That's good stuff.
The most pee pee poo poo, huh? The most elegant of speech I've ever heard. I mean, there's just no way I could ever top it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I feel like whenever someone says pee pee poo poo, I'm like, yes, this eloquence. Yes, this cadence. I'm just in love. This is great. This is good shit.
Hmm.
Dinner. Just meat. But yes, we're
What is
drinking straight from the gazelle.
Straight from the gazelle. That's typically, that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. So yeah.
Straight to the
that's-
source, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just love it. It was like, well, it would be like sterile. No, it's not.
I mean,
That's not how it
I don't
works.
know. I
Before
don't
we
know
get
enough
into
about
the,
gazelle pee, so I mean, it could be. I don't know. At least
Before we get
there's
into the
that, I
gazelle
guess.
pee conversation, yes.
Yeah.
Well, before that, before we get into other cases, I guess we could sidetrack some other personal video game stuff that has interested me. So did you guys hear about this Smash Brothers controversy where they're banning best character in the game? Some tournaments have gone ahead and started banning him.
Okay, but to be fair, fuck Steve. He's never been in the game at all. Stole Crash Bandicoot's spot. I will take that to the grave.
I
Yeah.
totally
I love Crash Bandicoot. That's true. So
But
fair,
so the reason,
Minecraft's a bigger deal.
unfortunately, it really has a wider audience. I mean,
I mean, it's great crossover. I mean, Minecraft has pedo players. Smash Bros. Have pedophile players.
No,
it's great.
Kiki. Look. There are millions of people that play Minecraft, okay?
there's
There
at
are
least
hundreds of
69
thousands of people that play Smash. I'm just saying. Numbers matter.
And yet, they have a lot of pedophiles in their community.
Yes.
get a drink. I'll be right back.
Now,
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
okay.
how
now
or
look.
why that's the case, but
There are
I mean,
hundreds
it is
of
true.
people that have played Crash Bandicoot. I'm just kidding. No.
No,
Yeah, but we have no confirmed pedophiles in our community.
that's true.
Um,
That's true.
I don't know. That seems like a stretch, but no notable ones, we'll say.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. I mean, Smash Bros. Is so bad they even have female pedophiles.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man, what? I mean, Smash is just such a fun, nice game that like all of this other stuff is just so disappointing. It's like, really, why?
I'm sure
just-
Sakurai is just there like, dude, what the fuck, bro? I just wanted you to play a 2D fighter game.
I mean,
Yep.
it really does. Like, that's the first thing I kind of think about. I'm like, oh yeah, this game is really sweet, but like, there's a bunch of like really, really distasteful people that play it. I'm like, I mean, because you
That's
can't
putting it
not think
lightly.
about it. You can't not think about it. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm wrecking this guy with that smash move and this back roll, but man, somewhere someone's thinking about Timmy over there.
Oh no. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know. I don't know
mean,
why
All right, I'm
it's
back. So,
like that, but
to, before we dive down the rabbit hole of nefarious players doing nefarious things, so let's get back on. So, there is, why the reason they are banning this character.
Why are they banning Steve? Did not say something based again?
Well, so the reason that Steve is receiving these restrictions and, being disallowed competition has to do with the way his character is being designed and used, and also recently discovered techniques that allow him to cancel out any hit stun he gets.
What?
So hit stun is, it's what allows characters to be comboed. You part of the reason Super Smash Bros. Brawl was not really that fun as a competitive game was because it had the lowest amount of hit stun. So free flow combos just almost really never worked unless you were like Meta Knight or other characters who could do it.
Fox
But
or Falco or fast characters.
Fox, Falco, Snake, other top tiers, or just wobble people indefinitely with Ice Climbers until they banned that technique. But so this is between this and just the fact that he was basically taking over the game. It wasn't enough. Like, it's not to say that the Steve players are like bad or they're like carried by him because they're not. But the reason that they started is because he just breaks the game because he can create
well,
new platforms. He can just keep mining and get some of the strongest attacks for free and just basically he's basically playing an entirely different game from what every other Smash fighter is trying.
Playing chess,
So
playing
there's-
checkers.
I mean, he's probably it's more like he's playing Battleship and everyone else is playing checkers.
is it more like also they're scared of like
I
a
sunk your
Bayonetta
king.
2.0 situation? Because
Yeah, I mean, well, unfortunately, it seems that it seems like DLC characters mostly dominate the top. I mean, Sora, the last DLC, he's considered mid high tier, not the best, but he's not like overwhelming. He's funner to play and he has easy combos, but he's not the best character. Whereas the consensus, so here let me read you the tier list. Like the top three characters are all like this is what is considered so far. The top three characters are Steve, Pyra and Mithra, and Joker from Persona 5.
wait, aren't those all? Wait, isn't Joker also
Yep.
like a DLC character? Or
yeah,
Mhm.
Joker was the first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
yeah, this is the current. Now, obviously, the matchup chart has Pikachu as number one on like event hubs, but that's because. But most people put Pikachu as actually 13th. Like this was decided on. Actually, it was released last last month. This was done by like some of the top players. They all voted, and the top tier. So the top tier are the S plus, S minus, high tier, A plus, A minus, upper mid, B plus, B minus, lower mid, C plus, C minus, and low. So the top three characters are Steve, Pyra, Mithra, Joker. The bottom characters, the two in the D minus tier, are Little Mac and Ganondorf.
Well, Little Mac fit in like any game he's in, though. That's
Yeah.
not surprising.
I mean, if he was in a fighting game, he'd be amazing. But he's in Smash Brothers, which is kind of like a fighting game.
A fighting
But
action 2D platformer. I mean, yeah, I'd say it's
yeah,
a fighting game, but not. I know what you mean. You mean like a traditional 2D platform.
yeah. But the
Obi
thing is,
Wan.
Brawl is about like there are matchups where the low tier characters actually beat other characters, or at least have a size noticeable easier time. But like, there's just no way that it's based on the fact that they don't get any results compared to the other ones. Like, I mean, Ganondorf is a fun character to watch, but everyone knows he's just like the worst character. He has the lowest amount of winning matchups and doesn't have enough tournament results to justify his place anywhere else other than the bottom.
Yeah, he really got screwed when they made his suicide kill him first.
Yeah,
Well,
when they
it's
did.
not that. It's not even just that. He did get buffs, but the problem is all the other bad characters from the previous game got more buffs that were more impactful than his. Like, for example, if Ganondorf had if his Wizard's Foot was like one of his custom moves where he does like a little hop up and then a drop kick, he would be good. He would actually be really interesting. He'd be better because now he has a good recovery move and a fast attacking option that allows him to get in close, which is like the big problem with him is that he's just hard to get options close if faster characters can just zone him out or run away. But that's the thing is like, there he can still like because for some Smash Ultimate is considered like one of the most balanced of the game, despite having 82 characters, which is saying something. I mean, but yeah, the reason Steve's ban is being banned worthy is because of technique. So according to the Smash Wiki, this is why he's ranked number one. I'm quoting from the thing. Steve's ability to create platforms and walls of his own with his special move, Minecart Create Block Gifts, and with extreme potently defensive prowess that grants him great stage control, recovery aid, and gimp potential while allowing himself access to a mithrud of unique advanced technique. These blocks also allow him to greatly extend his combos with incredibly fast attacks, such as his moving jab attack and axe ladders, among others, allowing him to command one of the best advantage states in the game and rack up massive amounts of damage. His damage potential can be further increased by upgrading his toolset with the material he mines. Diamond's tools are viewed as a high threat because of it. His back aerial and smash attacks yield incredible kill power, as does his down aerial and TNT specials, which are notable components of Steve's trapping game. Minecart is not only a useful horizontal recovery tool, but a command, a powerful KO option and tool Steve can use to approach opponents. Eltria's gliding mechanics allow Steve to mix up his recovery and can provide him great vertical coverage of angled right. Nearly every move in his arsenal can be used for multiple purposes, such as his down tilt, which ledge traps opponents, blocks projectiles, and set up combos. He does have weaknesses. They say like he's got lackluster aerial and ground mobility. His crawl and crouch are ineffective against projectile attacks. And, he has to constantly mine through materials. And when he runs out, he doesn't have access to the moves, such as the minecart and TNT. And his tools that he pulls out eventually break over periods of use. So he's left with punch attacks that are not very strong, or he needs a crafting table to replace his tools. So he has some weaknesses, but overall his positives, like, completely.
He's too good, basically.
I mean, yeah.
You know what solved this? Get good at the game.
Well, overall, so
Based.
although he has difficulty approaching opponents that outclass him in range, these weaknesses are greatly overshadowed by his strengths. He's considered by many as the best character in Smash Bros. Ultimate. He has achieved excellent tournament results some of his mains, such as Okala, Onan, Jake, rank him within the top 100. He's won tournament after tournament. Steve quickly became, as let's said, became a focal point of contention with the competitive scene following his release, with many in the community calling the character broken. Although a character ban was discussed and heavily debated on throughout 2022, in February 2023, discovery of a tech involving crate block that allowed Steve to cancel hit stun and immediately act out of it led to Steve being banned from competitive in multiple regions and tournament series.
That was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Maybe
Yeah.
the real problem was that he does more damage to pedos, so like that's why he's winning all these tournaments. Is like, he's just crushing all these pedos, So I mean, that could be it
So
too, right? I mean,
the reason, so it also says this is the ban because of the character's unorthodox play style and sudden rise in the metagame. Many players began to argue that Steve should be banned. While this momentum, this eventually took a while to gain momentum. It started in early 2022, and the fact that so many like unknown players rose to the ranks so quickly, this was further argued after Super Smash Con 2022 when Onin took a game set off MK Leo with a dominant 3-0. With one game where he basically performed a destruction on him.
Wait,
That's
this
when
guy restocked MK Leo with Steve.
Yeah. And he different, many also point out there were 9 different Steve players in the top 64 SmashCon, claiming many of them to be relatively non-noteworthy players. Like on it, like these people, these people are not bad. They're really good players, but like it's better than it's not like 4 Meta Knight players in top 8 or 6 Bayonettas.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
But like it led to people when there was the Steve Dittos at the final for one tournament, many of the audience members just straight up left the venue because it's like, Steve. It's like, it's kind of like what happened in 2018 Evo when it was a Bayonetta doubles and the Captain Zach and the other player were just messing around to the point where the TO actually had to say, warn them, it's like, you guys keep stalling, I'm disqualifying you both. Or something like that. But so the arguments for Steve's ban go like this. His ability to change the stage's layout with blocks, create near unbeatable setups, whether on stage or ledge trap, has led him to being too strong with little viable counterplay. And the fact that, Steve is carrying unknown players, that they would not be nearly as successful with other characters. Some of his advanced techniques have been referred to as game breaking. For example, the Phantom, MLG or PMLG technique, where he creates a block that allows Steve to cancel hit stun and immediately follow up with a counterattack. This intensified the ban controversy, with players like Hungrybox saying that maybe instead of a character ban, we ban we ban the technique. But somewhat, there's been fireback where the point is like, well, how do you enforce this ban of this technique? Like, you have to have a TO watching the match to make sure that they don't pull off this technique.
Well, it'd have to be every match, right? Like that has a character. These sort of complex bans, I don't think are that good because it's like it's like creating a law that is like extremely difficult or impossible to enforce. Like, I don't think that's I don't think that's really going to work very well.
And it also said, well, Steve isn't as dominant as say like Fox and Melee, Meta Knight and Brawl, or Bayonetta and Smash 4. It says like, listen, most of these players rose up when we had the lockdowns. But I think the problem is that the discovery of these techniques allowed people to say, okay, this character should be banned because he is actually, not only is his unorthodox playstyle is changing the match, he is basically breaking one of the game's rules regarding hit stun. Yeah. Multiple regions have already basically
kill this man, right?
I think that makes sense because like there are certain things games are designed and built around, and like there are things that let you break the rules, but there are some rules that are more important, right?
I think it was the developer's intention for you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but obviously
Yeah.
it broke things, right, to the point where it's like, oh, this was way better than we thought or had intended to be, or we didn't realize this was so integral to the balance of the game or the metagame. Um, I think that makes sense, even though, like, yeah, like you said, yeah, it's like less, like Fox was everywhere. I remember, and yeah, it seems
God,
I,
you talking about Melee Fox?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
oh yeah. Oh, we all have fond memories, right, of playing against Melee Fox. Trying to play as
yeah,
literally Rose, be like, well,
Yeah. I hope one frame invincibility move.
yeah.
That's
That's
why.
fine, dude. That's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Mhm. It's
Yeah,
funny is in the PLO the game, Fox is actually worse in that like the on land. Oh, what's the European version of the game? Yeah,
PAL version?
because
You
they
talking about the
actually
region?
PAL. Yeah, they
yeah.
actually like they nerfed him a little bit, but they didn't fix some of the other like weird moves that like just don't work. Like Roy's dash attack still sucks. Like his
Oh,
sword doesn't connect properly. Mr. Gaiman watches
what is the
shield.
hitbox on that dub attack, dude? It's like what? It's like it's.
They just forgot to put it in. Same thing with like Falcons, like Ronaldo up air, or so that they call it the Ronaldo because he kicks backwards. Only like
Bicycle kick thing or whatever.
yeah, like the kick, like soccer net. So interesting. So after this was discovered, this is where people started. So one tournament collision in 2023, they banned the technique, would basically ban him eventually. And Hungry Box, the coin box, he is indefinitely banned as well. And the Australian Smash Ultimate community also banned him. This is what they said. After surveying all the states and communities, the Australian Smash councils or Senate and the respective state TOs have come to the decision to ban Steve Australia wide. We believe that the character has been an issue for a while, and while PMLG is not on its own ban worthy, the discourse around it highlights the growing list of unhealthy competitive traits that this character possesses. It's also not really viable to police the tech alone at events without relying on the goodwill of players. While this would possibly be viable at locals or monthlies, it's extremely difficult to police at a major, and we don't believe majors and locals should run with different rules.
Now,
Each,
I see what they're saying, and I get that, but like you could ban the move itself, and then just be like, hey, if you think it was used against you, we'll review the replay.
yeah, but
Now,
that's the problem.
I know, obviously players are salty little bitches, and they're gonna be like, oh, he did it against me. It's like, okay, let's go through the footage. I get that, but like, I mean, it's why we have challenge flags in football, and stuff like. So it's
Mhm.
maybe I don't
So,
know.
well, I wasn't finished. So they also continued. Every state that was surveyed voted at least 51% in favor of banning Steve, most of them around 65 to 70%. And no state returned more than 34% of its players against the ban, including states which included a different option. Most states also returned substantially more. I would attend more events response than both I would attend less events or I would stop coming to events if a ban was occur. We believe that for the health of the scene, a Steve ban is the best course of action, and we understand this decision will negatively affect the Steve players around Australia. This character will officially be banned on the events from the 1st of May on. To give the affected players a grace period allows certain states to PRCs. However, it's ultimately up to local TOs to decide if they wish to ban the character from their events earlier than the mentioned date. So Australia basically has already banned the character. And they pointed out, so
Sir,
I think
Australia has banned Steve from Minecraft.
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. President, they have banned a second character.
the Aussies would do that, wouldn't they? They just ban him from Minecraft. Even though I do all my best work in Minecraft. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, I couldn't not have that 9/11 autism there. I apologize.
I like how this also comes out the same day that Christian just got let out of jail, by the way.
Now, the dimensional merge is
Ugh.
ongoing.
There are no accidents.
Yeah, what the hell?
So, okay, explain this to me. Chris Chan,
He's
the
out
guy
on-
who snuggled his
Yeah.
mother,
Yes.
and writes
out
an
on
internet
bail.
comic.
Yeah, some kind of
So-
organization bailed him out, but he's not.
Wait,
like,
who
he's
bailed him out?
some kind of like nonprofit for like the mentally disabled patient or something.
I mean,
Now he's not obvious. He's not like free to go anywhere. He's still
Oh, yeah,
under
yeah,
like
yeah,
a. He's still.
So is
He's
he
basically
homeless?
under. He's basically under house arrest in whatever.
How can he go to
facility
house
he's
arrest
in.
though? Because he can't go to Barb's.
Well, he's not at far. He's somewhere else.
Probably some
where
sort
is he
of
being house
facility that-
arrested?
I don't know. Shoot.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, people had made rumors, oh, he has escaped or stuff like. No, he's under like surveillance.
Are you saying he escaped?
No.
He's out. He's out.
He can't keep getting away with it.
No.
I mean,
I knew it. The day would come. The day would come when Christian would be let off the leash and just to run wild, buck wild on everyone's mom. It's gonna be horrible. Ugh.
Oh,
No
God.
justice, no peace. That's what's happening. None of us shall
Yeah,
ever know peace.
Oh no! No peace. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man! In the words of Jesus Christ, my friends, stay strapped or get clapped. All right, so Chris Chad is out on bail. Wow, that's so. Who posted his bail? So you say a mentally ill support group posted Chris Chan's bail. The guy who,
Of all people too, why him?
yeah, like I'm sure there are a lot of mentally ill people with much less horrific crimes that they're kind of,
Yeah.
sitting in a jail cell over, that didn't involve their own mother, to my understanding. Like, also, if they're all about, like, supporting the mentally ill, like, isn't this, like, really bad stigma? That this mentally ill fellow did unspeakably horrible things, and you took money out of supporting actual other. I mean, he's mentally ill, clearly, from I've heard about him. But like, you took money out of supporting other mentally ill people to post a massive bail for some, I guess, C-list E-celeb or D-list. I don't know what letter of the alphabet do you think Chris Chan's list is for his internet celebrity status?
Z list. It's Z list. I mean, all
Z-list?
the way.
I mean-
yeah, all the way at the end. I mean,
I mean,
one knows who this guy is.
He's
so.
the bottom.
There's
He's-
some normies that do know, but it's probably Z's, right?
So someone asked, like, who's this Christine Chandler? So Sonic and Pikachu, and 7 hours later, and then that was the first time he was rumored to have escaped from jail. Hold on, let me go review the tape so I remember how this all happened.
I mean, isn't the guy doing the Chris story in like 3 years behind still?
What? 3 years behind Christory? That's ridiculous. That's a lot of Chris. That's a lot of Christory, Mountain Walk.
That.
Okay. Well, so that happened. So the president is going to be criminally indicted by some New Yorkers, and Chris Chan is roaming as a man under house arrest.
But it's okay. The DA is getting investigated because he used federal funds to investigate Trump. So now the feds are going to be investigating him.
I'm sure the feds are gonna take this case with a fine-tooth comb, as the DA attempted to sabotage his political opponent ahead of time. I'm sure he will be punished greatly for his actions, right? for his misdeeds against the judicial system. I have great faith in federal officers doing the right thing in this case. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better way to write /s. But okay. What else happened this week? You know, obviously, you know, big political earthquake story of
The
I
Trump
mean,
stuff?
turning ourselves into a banana republic with less good clothes.
I mean, it's pretty obvious like what's going on here. I mean, like, you know, it's like, oh, so
I wish
Trump
I could run
is
for
like-
political office and prosecute my political opponents for civil charges criminally. Like, it'd make it pretty easy, dude. Like, oh
I mean,
yeah, man, you that parking ticket you got? We're gonna put you in jail for that parking ticket, bro.
yeah.
That's right.
yeah.
You
It's-
criminally
it's one of those-
conspired to drive illegally and park illegally. You actually had fertilizer in the back of your car. That was your intent. If it weren't for that parking ticket, you were done for.
Wait, you can't have fertilizer in the back of your car?
No,
Well,
but it would imply that you had a bomb of some kind.
Yeah,
And that's what.
fertilizer
Isn't that
bombs.
what Ted Kaczynski put a bunch of fertilizer and back in the federal
Yeah,
building?
maybe I'm thinking of like the guy that bombed the World Trade Center.
Unabomber? Was that the Unabomber?
Yeah.
Wait, the Unabomber
No.
and Ted Kaczynski are different people?
No, they're the same people. I'm thinking
Okay.
of the first World Trade Center
Oh.
bombing. Was
The
that
first one, right? The one that happened in like the basement
Yeah.
that didn't collapse the whole building?
right? Yeah.
The one in the
I thought-
80s.
Is it the 80s or the 90s?
I thought it was the 90s. Anyways,
I
know
feel
there
like it was
a-
early
a big
90s.
case. Yeah. It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. I don't remember.
That's a name
Yeah.
I haven't heard in a long time. Hey, no bad luck, Unabomber. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Haven't talked to that guy in forever. I mean, yeah, him, that guy.
Uncle
mean,
Ted
it-
again.
I think the biggest issue is it's like, okay, so why are they prosecuting him now? Right? Like it's
You know, for
so
charges that are also
transparent.
well outside the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just I
Because
mean,
right,
like,
don't they have to like elevate the charge in order to get around the statute of limitations? Limitations, right? They have to go and say that, oh well, it was in the purpose of doing something criminal, and therefore we can completely flaunt the statute of limitations because, you know, criminal.
Yeah.
You know, he's criminal, man. You
it-
gotta
yeah,
prosecute
it-
Cosby or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it just is so. I mean,
It beggars belief.
really, yeah, it's. You know, it's like,
It's
what are you-
it's
what are you
like,
supposed to say
well,
about
man,
that?
this guy who's claiming to have been politically persecuted by opposing political opponents his entire career, while being sabotaged by both his own party and other parties. Wow, you know, it almost looks like that guy's telling the truth. Crazy, I know.
I mean, it's like, oh wait, yeah, the FBI is reluctant to do anything about like the Clinton stuff or whatever. You know, they're like, oh, well, we don't want to influence the election, so we're not going to do anything.
You know, like
it's
they have like that GIF of like the blind guy, you know, like walking around. That's the FBI looking in like, you know, the Clinton residence. Oh, we didn't see nothing, man. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. It's
well,
completely clean.
The entire FBI doesn't want
Acid washed, maybe. Bleached.
I mean, the entire
With a cloth. I walk like with a cloth.
like with the cloth, yeah, like with the cloth, yeah. That's just how you clean stuff. Duh, yeah, like with
Yeah,
the cloth.
you know,
Thank you, Hillary.
everyone knows that.
Yeah, it's like with the cloth. Yeah, thanks, Grandma. Thanks, Grandma Clinton.
Really? Really? You know how many people you've had? You know how many people
Yeah.
have had evidence that could lead to the? You know, like really,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, how many
Grandma?
people has she wiped with a cloth, so to speak? You know, I mean, literally just one recently. A couple
Oh
weeks
no!
ago,
Who
I think.
died now?
Again, just another person connected to the Clintons. I can't remember if it was. And
Was
it's
it
not
mysterious circumstances? Was he lifting weights at 3 a.m. or something?
No, I swear the last time I checked, it was like the person was like they were hung and had a gunshot wound from like. a
Oh come
shotgun in the
on!
chest. Like, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I'll have to see if I can find it. But yeah, it was just like really just like absurd. Like, yeah, this is suicide, dude. Like, yeah.
You know, when I wanted to commit suicide, while I'm hanging myself, like, let's just shoot myself to make sure I die. Gotta.
Is shoot yourself in the chest with a shotgun seems pretty tough.
Oh, jeez.
Seems pretty tough.
Serious? With a shotgun?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how much that would hurt?
It's
like committing seppuku. It's like committing seppuku, basically.
Yeah.
With no one to cut your head off at the end.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like an open and shut case to me.
Yeah, he just
Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. It's so amazing.
All right, I'll
What
post
grand-
this in the
what
suggest
grand
stories. I found
fortune.
yeah.
Mount
So-
Walk, I can't keep getting away with this. I just can't.
Are you starting to feel guilty now? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I can't. How can I be winning so much?
I don't know.
Like, all the evidence is so obvious and out there, but they just keep going like, I don't see nothing, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So, they wanna say what are they gonna do? Are they gonna perp walk him? Take his mugshot? Someone made a
Probably
great
not.
point. I think that, like, if they do that, if they, like, mugshot him, that's gonna be a pretty popular t-shirt,
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
like,
they might. I don't know.
Seriously
Well, no,
and ironically,
I think I remember seeing a thing about him turning himself in, like on Monday. I guess that's what he's gonna do. But
Honestly, he shouldn't turn himself in, because they might kill him in prison. I would just say, fuck you, send the cops down here. Now, this
Send
is
the
clearly,
cops down.
obviously, a political prosecution.
yeah.
Come on, drag me out of here.
Kangaroo courts and all that stuff. Yeah, they're.
Have you,
It's-
you've made your Stalinist ruling. Now, I'm calling your bluff. You're telling me there wouldn't be 10,000 people standing outside Mar-a-Lago?
I mean, they probably would. Yeah.
If I lived in Florida, I'd do that. I don't care. People are like, oh, it's a fed up. Yeah, well, this is bigger than that, Fuck them. There's more important shit going on.
Yeah, it's just so absurd. Like, how is this even? I mean, I know like Trump makes these people like, angry to the point where they lose all sense of reason. But man, this is just ridiculous.
Bold of you, assuming they had reason before, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
You are a Christian. You are forgiving by your nature, so I understand that.
So, only to a point. Only to a point.
I know. You're
Yeah.
generally a forgiving people, so I understand that. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. My personal advice would be, fuck that. Don't surrender. You make them do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, your opponents are the jackbooted thugs. Okay. Let them show themselves, because CNN would be there at 5 a.m. Filming on scene, like, here we are, we're gonna raid his place.
Yeah. It's so stupid. Like, I mean, it won't matter. Like, the people that are that have already drank the Kool-Aid, they'll come up with any
It won't
number of
change their
excuses.
mind, but
Right.
those aren't the people we're concerned about. The NPCs, because it's like, yeah, I'd like to reach even a 10th of them, just because, but like, I live in this fragile place called reality, where I know that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
it's the other, like, those 40% of persuadable people, who are kind of like,
The norms.
maybe we disagree on some things. Maybe they're dumb on economics. Maybe they have different, cultural values that I do. Whatever. But at the end of the day, they can call a spade, and see like, oh shit, this is wrong.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know, and if they can do this to the most powerful man, one of the most powerful men in the country, imagine when that noose comes for me, right?
Right.
We're
This
fucked.
is the president of the United States, and they're gonna go frog march him to a court of his political enemies to convict him of crimes that he's really not even really guilty of, as far as all things, from a witness that literally, you know, constantly has lied and changed his testimony to like save his own skin. It's like really this guy, and it. How is this guy? Oh, right, because it's Alvin Bragg, you know, a George Soros-funded district attorney. That's like, oh, you know, like, oh, look, you know how many points I'm gonna get for getting Orange Man? I would be the one who bagged Orange Man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like.
Orange Man bad. I got him. I got him off the
I think,
street.
yeah. I think there are a lot of stupid people out there, but I think even they can see, you know, like, whoa, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't even, at this point, like, when you're doing this to your political opponents, to, like, really high-level people, I mean, it's, I obviously things could get worse, clearly, but, I don't know how you square this circle, right? Like, where how people just believe this kind of stuff. Like, oh yeah, this is fine. Like, they didn't prosecute him because, see, earlier, the FBI was so busy with the Russians, but now at this time, you know,
They're definitely not
prosecuting
busy with, you know, the Russians invading a
Russians.
foreign state. Like, no, see,
Right.
now they have free time because
Right,
Russia's
exactly.
busy invading Ukraine. So now we can actually handle the important stuff, like Donald Trump's
Yeah.
business filings. We can go investigate that. Like, I love the idea them pretending that, like, oh, they haven't been investigating this every day of every night for like the past 5 years, right? Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
did we see cable news the same way? You know, like, excuse me.
Yeah. It's just it's so transparent.
It's all so tiresome.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm just I'm just that Chinese guy, just being like, really, this shit again, really, you
Like, we're
know,
really
it's,
back here. Like,
yeah,
we're back in 2016 again.
yeah. I mean, just the whole thing is just so corrupt and absurd. Like, there's just, I mean,
Like, anyone that's honest with himself just sees this, and it's like, look, you don't have to love Trump or like anything he does, like, to see that this is wrong. You know, like.
yeah, I don't think Trump would really change anything. I mean, you know, I don't think he would really do exactly what was needed to save the country, so to speak.
But I think he would try.
Oh yeah, I mean, he would try in his own boomer way, yeah. But obviously that didn't really work
You know,
super well last
he's
time.
not a perfect person, and he's not the perfect avatar for even, you know, for any of us, you know, as well. Like,
Yeah.
we get that, but like,
He
went
didn't
up
start
there.
new wars, you know.
He
at
didn't
the
start
very
new
least.
wars. Like, he clearly loved the country. He clearly, you know, I think he likes people. You know, he wants to be
Yeah,
liked. He wants to succeed. Like, all these things, like, he's aspirational, you know. Yeah, is he a braggart? Did a blow? Yeah, sure, he's all these things, whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't sense malice. I think if I met Donald Trump and we had a conversation, if I was like a coal miner, I don't think he would treat me any different than he would treat me now as like a
Right.
financial analyst. Or if I was, you know, Paul Ryan, or, you know, I think he would treat us the same, because he's like, he wants to be that kind of person, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. He definitely does seem to be like, just like a pretty solid, decent guy. I mean,
A real human being, as
a
Sargon
real
would
human
say.
being.
I'm a real human being, okay?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, like, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, this isn't about him, you know, even though he's the one they're trying to throw in jail on the flimsiest
Hey,
of charges.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I am getting a little tired, so I just wanted to end the segment on a thing, you know, Nightmare Vision brought up. Can you contrast this to the front lash that the Trans Day of Visibility got? You know,
Well,
all
I think
these.
the biggest backlash was the people claiming that the next day would be a trans day of vengeance right after, you know, a mass shooting by a member of their community.
Yeah, just think about this. Between this and all the taking over Capitol buildings or having all the Twitter accounts going off and just saying,
Well, they were
"Oh,
screaming about
they,
gun control there this time, right? They weren't even screaming about,
well, the Tennessee one said there's 7 victims of this." I'm like, 7? No. One of them was the perpetrator here. And
I'm
you think
sorry,
about,
if you shoot 7 children, you're not a victim. You're good
well,
riddance at that point.
it was 3
I know
children and
they
3
they killed 3
faculty,
children.
but yeah,
My question is, did they
And-
shoot more? Did they wound more?
maybe, I don't know. One of the
Ah.
police officers was hit by the gunman, but he had Kevlar on, so it didn't. I don't think it
I believe
penetrated
it's
him.
a
But
gun person. But yeah, thank goodness for that armor, because was he the lead cop that got hit, or?
no, it was the perpetrator was shooting at the officer. One of
Shooting
the
down at the
officers.
officers down there. Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
and
that,
that's
I'm
when
glad the Giga
Rex-
Chad cop didn't get hit, because that guy just said, "Fuck this, give me 3 guys, I got this."
Yeah,
easy.
and the funny thing is, there were some people like, "Oh, how dare he like shoot him in the back?" Like, okay, first of
Face.
all,
What the
Like,
fuck?
you
Wait,
know-
people were saying, "How dare they shoot the mass shooter in the back?"
or
That's pretty
just say
big, if you ask me, I don't know.
like they said,
What?
"How
Hold on,
it's so
10
bigoted."
paces and we'll turn around, right? Is that how we have to do this shit? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was
Digital
like
now.
so. It was so like just completely unself-aware. It's like, this person, they clearly targeted this person because she was a tranny or something. And I'm like, this person,
Yeah, he was trans, it's like, no, I think they targeted this person because they were murdering children.
Almost like he was shooting people.
He was shooting
Maybe.
children that were trying not to die at a school where children are supposed to be safe.
Very strange. Very strange.
Maybe we need more tolerance in executing murderers of children. I guess, it's maybe we're just
Unbelievable.
not woke and diverse
I mean,
enough to
just to
understand.
think, the takeaway is, obvious, this puts the Uvdale cops to shame because this person,
The Uvalde, right? I think
the
that's what you
Uvalde,
meant.
yeah, it puts them to
Yeah,
shame.
those guys.
because,
Fuck those guys. Like, oh, we have to wait for backup. But get fucked, bro. Like, come on. I would have gone in there. They tell me they're killing children. Fuck that shit. I'll take my chances with this fucker.
Yeah.
I have training. I know how to use a fucking weapon. You morons are too cowardly to go in there. What the fuck?
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah, and you saw, and we've all seen the body cam footage from both officers. They're doing everything that they can, right? Like, they're moving, they're clearing, they're checking all the rooms,
Yep.
clearing out,
Surgical.
and then they hear the shots upstairs, and they move immediately. And yeah, the lead officer, I think the name was Rex Engelbert. He's the one, he downs the person with 4 shots. And then the other guy comes back up, shoots him, and says, "Stop moving! Stop moving!"
Yeah.
And said, "Suspect down."
Yeah, I would. I too would. I wouldn't have asked. I mean, they did more than I would have done. I would have been like, bang, 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 shoot him 5 times. Is he down? Shoot him a few more times.
Just in case.
Just, you gotta be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if this was the old vigilante style, let's just say, I think the perpetrator's corpse would not be left in a dignified state, considering
Yeah.
the evil deeds.
Just saying, that cop head-eyed her right across that hallway pretty well. It was an impressive shot.
Yeah, but the sad part is one of the victims is present on the body cam footage from both. And I think it might be the girl that was the pastor. pastor's daughter.
That was counseling her. Well, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. But, I mean,
But
we're
I
not
cannot
gonna
believe.
dwell on the victim. We're gonna just enjoy the boom headshot.
But you know what pisses me off the most is the front lash that this got. You had these people, the White House literally signaled, "Oh, I am, Ghost. Have you ever seen such sympathy for a mass shooter, a spree shooter like this? Have you ever
yeah, I mean, well, I mean the Wakawaisha guy kind of got swept under the rug. I wouldn't call it
I mean,
sympathy.
these are the people who would claim Albert al-Baghdadi was an astute religious scholar.
Austere religious scholar, I believe, was the
Yeah.
term.
Austere.
Austere religious scholar
Yeah.
al-Baghdadi. His girlfriends called him al-Baghdadi. But we just called him deceased
Still have to
terrorist
think,
322.
like, now, obviously, a lot of these accounts of people were getting ratioed with pictures of the victims, and just people just saying, "Excuse me, Audrey Hale is not the victim in this situation." Like,
Yeah,
by far.
I don't think anyone would think, anyone sensible would think, that Audrey Hale
But I
is
guess
the
the
victim.
the
But I mean,
implications is that, since this was basically a deliberate targeting of the facility, I
was
think
it though? The
manifesto has
look,
not
I'm
been
gonna
released.
play devil's advocate for a second. I think there's a case to be made. This might have been like a personal act of vengeance. Like I honestly do, and I'm not trying to like diminish anything horrible that the killer did or anything, but I mean, the personal connections, the fact that she specifically killed his daughter, like, I think there's a legitimate chance this actually a case. This is a personal act of vengeance. Now that doesn't excuse the fear and hate mongering going over these issues as well, but what do you think? I mean, like I think that the it kind of complicated. Like nothing. Obviously, nothing excuses what this person did. It's fucking horrible, and they're a monster. And rest in piss, you horrible person. Obviously, but like it's a distinct possibility. This is like a weird revenge thing.
Well, if anything close, this would be similar to what happened in Tulsa, where the dude with a pistol killed 5 people in the hospital because he was upset with the doctor being unable to like properly treat his back pain, because that's why he did that.
Tulsa.
You
Which one
remember
was
that?
Tulsa? I'm trying to remember Tulsa
It
specifically.
happened actually not that far after Uvalde. And
Oh yeah, he was the. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
well, it didn't get much coverage given that this was the perpetrator's race. He was black, but this was
I
a
remember.
person.
I remember the Stone Toss comic they've repurposed for this one.
Yeah. Why didn't you hear about this? Oh, the shooter was, and then they just ignored
No,
because
well, it's like it's the other guys like yelling at him. Why did you want to talk about it? Well, this guy to kill me. It's like the shooter was this. Oh, and then they're both just quiet.
Yeah.
Oops.
Believe it or not, like funny thing is, if you go by statistics of mass shooters and stuff, overwhelmingly, it's the same thing. It's like it's
gang
what counts
killings.
as
It's mass
gang
city
killings.
violence.
It's two perpetrators firing into a crowd at each other and just
Like modern
trying.
Hatfield McCoy shit, basically.
Yeah, and I've seen videos of this happening in Chicago. What counts as a mass shooting is the guys just shooting at each other with, groups of people also nearby, and
Hitting
sadly,
X number of targets, and yes, it's true.
Right.
yeah, and of course there's the sailor's law where it's like you can kind of tell if it's what the race of the perpetrator is by kill to wound ratio. But there have been examples where the killers are not like, the idea is like if it's a white person they'll have more kills than wounded. If it's a black
No,
person,
the Wakawaisha truck
kill.
driver had a pretty good kill count. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, the SUV. They'll say the SUV committed the crimes.
Listen, we cannot let automatic vehicles with automatic transmissions be on our streets. Okay.
Transmissions.
Automatic transmissions. We have to ban
no.
automatic transmissions before they kill more of our children.
Crap. My power's starting to flicker a little bit, so.
Oh no. Let's get some last
Oh,
words.
no.
So yeah, this thing it's just been a shitstorm of a week. So I'll just keep it like this. And you have Nightmare Vision pointing out that this is just a massive power flex. The fact that these groups still march on the capitals, basically do a lot of disruptions and get no pushback and encouragement from the government, from corporations, from groups, activists. It's just a blatant power flex too. This is despite the fact that a member of that quote unquote community went and did this horrible thing.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think they are correct. If they actually believe they want to implement meaningful change, like, I don't really agree with the meaningful change they want to implement, but I think they're absolutely correct to march. Like, absolutely. I think that it's wrong to back off because a horrible person does something horrible. Like, if you truly believe in something, it doesn't matter if someone that looks like you or identifies like you or, claims to be you does something horrible. That's not you. You are your own self. You are your own representative of whatever community you want to be a part of. Fuck that terrible person for doing what they're doing. If you actually truly believe in that change you want to see as a reality, no, you can't be cowed by someone doing something. I think they're actually making the correct move. I think they're advocating for dumb shit and they're very stupid, but I think they are correct in their advocating from a tactical perspective.
The idea is, but like the people it contrasts is say like,
what it shows they believe what they're saying.
Well, what happened after Dylan Roof did what he did? The equivalent, like, did suddenly everyone start, running cover for Confederate monuments or the flag? No, they went on a jihad.
Well, they should have. They should have. They shouldn't have cowered. They shouldn't have cowered. And now they live with the consequences of cowering from it.
Yeah,
because they've had this pretend sense of decency that there are these rules that they had to follow, and there are no rules. Like, there's not. You have to assert yourself. And if you don't, well, you'll be steamrolled. Like, that's the reality. It's not pretty. It's not exciting, but it's the truth. This is why if you believe in something, you want to make meaningful change, you can't be cowed by horrible people doing horrible things.
That's true.
That's why I think they are doing the correct thing. I think their meaning for doing it and their reasoning for doing it, I don't agree with, but I think their methods are correct.
Well, I mean, just think about the total. So what I'm talking about is I think Nightmare Vision put it best is like the showing up to protest in the name of a politically constructed identity just days after said member did what she did in Nashville. It's a massive power flex. Like, there's no concern for optics. Like, where's the rules of etiquette for reading the room? It's a total reassurance of perceived righteousness.
Well, why would you? If you let that happen, you limit yourself and you limit your ability to implement meaningful change. Like, why would you let your enemy set the rules for you? That's dumb.
Well, like everything else post-Trump, the idea that
even pre-Trump, I mean, that's dumb. Like, you shouldn't let your enemies set the terms. You set your own terms.
Well, I think the whole point
isn't the goal winning?
Well, that's kind of like why 2016 was so significant. Conservatives, and they're held to this ridiculous standard and level of normalcy and rules that, the second somebody said, I just don't care, everything changed. This caused such a hysteria, even though nothing proposed policies were just that extreme. It's just refusing to abide by these fake one-sided rules and social contracts or whatever.
There was a degree of anti-corporatism and anti-globalism that was, not very underrepresented by both parties, and both parties.
Well, it's like
anti-globalist movement, anti-TPP.
Another funny
term.
Remember,
TPP was really big at the time. They were specifically, pro-U.S. anti-globalist policies. Policies that benefit the U.S. more so than China. Right? There was a lot of that. Oh, no problem. But there's a lot. There was a lot of substance to it, right? There was a lot of substance here, right? It wasn't just like, oh, I just don't care. No, there was, and there was a clear line of policy of like, hey, these policies benefit America.
I'm breaking up with you. There's an intense storm passing through right now. Can you hear it?
I can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
Here, let me put you up to the window, see if you can hear it.
See if we can hear the thunder.
He's trying to electrocute us.
Oh no, it's okay. We're ground type, Mountain Walk.
Oh, okay, base.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the wind with the thing, but it's pretty intense.
I wish I
This
could
is
hear
why I
it.
might lose power, but yeah, it's just this is a week from hell. Our souls have all been tested, but listen, I'm not ready to throw in the towel just because of all the terrible stuff that came out this week.
And that's what matters.
Well, yeah. I
Right.
mean, obviously, this isn't.
We are the
This is
Internet
bad,
Archive
but
of the world. We're the living record of this world.
I know.
And we'll
And
decide how
keep
the
in mind,
future
I
is.
mean, look what they did to, look what they tried to do to Jefferson Davis. Within 2 years of of appalling conditions in prison in Fort Monroe, he was let go because they realized, oh crap, if we bring him to trial and all the other ones, they'll argue the case that their secession was lawful, and we just basically conducted a
yeah.
war on their countries for no good reason.
Well, their secession was lawful. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I think it still is, but the whole Texas v. White case was just a political decision to
I didn't say it was.
postpone.
It had become not legal by Lincoln's actions. I mean, I said it was legal. You know, it was legal, but our government violated the law to prevent it from happening.
Yeah. The sort of federal. I think maybe that's not the first, but that's the first best example of like widespread federal overreach. Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, you had the Whiskey Rebellion is one of the ones that's off-cited.
Well, yeah, that's a
Rebellion.
little different. They had like a different system of government set up. That was like 1780 something. I can't remember, but that's a little bit different.
I don't remember, but they
Yeah, but that's a good one too. That's a good one
It was a
too.
bunch of soldiers that hadn't gotten paid, which are.
Right.
Well, I don't understand why people are like, oh, Trump doesn't pay his debts and bills and shit. And it's like, America has a long history of not paying their bills. Soldiers and people that fucking bled for him, okay? What do you mean that's un-American?
That's oh, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's about as American as you can get.
Look at what we did those Vietnam vets. Like, come on, really?
Yeah, that's. Oh man, yeah.
Enjoy the after effects of depleted uranium, Agent Orange, and PTSD.
Yeah, it's like
Stop bringing us down,
guys...
man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Allies, or at least the U.S., gave their troops meth too, right? Like they gave them meth to, like when they were on the front lines and stuff. I know I think the Nazis gave their guys meth as well.
Germans definitely used methamphetamine. I would not be surprised if Allied soldiers also did. But I mean, like cocaine was a medicinal drug in the 20s, I think.
Yeah, but in the 80s or late 80s, that too. But like the late 1800s and early 19th or 20th century.
It's a miracle drug, Mount Walk.
Yeah. Oh, it's a miracle, all right. It's a miracle. I feel a lot better every time I do cocaine. So, that's normal. Yeah. So because a lot of these wars are like them testing out like all sorts of stuff on their own soldiers, even. Like think about all the different drugs and stuff that they were given. Think about things like what he mentioned, Agent Orange, stuff like that.
Uranium rounds. Turns out there was radiation there.
Yeah, there was.
You may be shocked to find this out, but there was indeed radiation.
Wow.
In those rounds of very highly fissible nuclear material. Shocking right now.
I did not know depleted uranium would be radioactive. That is shocking.
Yeah, I thought like you deplete it. You set like the uranium status effect is gone. It's depleted, so then nothing happens.
Yeah, it's just you just turn it off. You just flip the switch. It's like
you use a full heal and it's fine, right?
Easy peasy.
Okay, Yellow Lantern. By the way, I'm curious. Your Substack. What article are you still working on? Your perspective of the Clone Wars?
No, that's gonna come out much later in the year, like towards late summer, because I want to release it on the day the Clone Wars movie came out.
It's like an anniversary thing.
Yeah, so that'll be like in August. I'm currently trying to get something before I go on my trip,
and then after that,
What region
I'll
are you heading to? If you could say, you don't have to say like if you're in like city or town.
let's just say I'm going to a nice place with gardens
Okay.
and a
Very
nice
cool.
riverfront.
Oh, somewhere fun.
Well, he's
and
going
not-
to Babylon. They got some nice hanging gardens there.
He's going to
And I'm-
Babylon
I'm-
5.
It's going to Babylon 5, guys. All right, meet up on the
Hopefully,
spaceship.
hopefully a sci-fi franchise that J.J. Abrams doesn't touch.
He should
Realize
just
you've
not
now
touch
just
anything.
guaranteed that J.J. Abrams is going to do the next Babylon 5, right?
Yeah, no more J.J. Abrams, no more
I
Ryan
cursed it that as
Johnson.
well as I cursed it Stargate as well.
Oh,
Ugh, I love Stargate.
I did watch the John Wick movie the other week, and
The new
liked
one?
yeah, John Wick
Was it
4.
fun?
It
It's
looks
fun.
sweet.
It's good, and I just love. I was watching him shoot like guys wearing full suits of armor with like 5.56 rounds. And I'm just screaming at the screen, John, you need longer rounds to pierce that armor. Stop shooting him with that M4, John.
It's funny.
I mean, realistically, you know, you hit a bulletproof vest 2 or 3 times, it's probably fucked, okay? But you know, it's a movie, so you unload an entire mag dump a clip into armor, and it doesn't break. It's a jacket. No, it was fun. But this week I'm gonna watch the Super Mario movie. So next Friday, I should have my review of the Super Mario movie. And sometime this week or next week, I'm gonna watch the Dungeons and Dragons Among Thieves movie with Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez. So, I'll probably do a more in-depth review of my thoughts on the Mario movie because I'm kind of excited for that. It looks fun, and come on, Chris Pratt won't let me down, right?
I think the Mario movie looks really sweet just because like it's Mario.
Isn't
and
Jack Black a good casting for Bowser? Like, you know, like I don't think there's a lot of great roles for Jack Black, but I feel like this is a role he's perfect for.
I agree. I think it is perfectly cast. I'm not sure.
I like that Seth Rogen is a giant fumbling baboon.
He's a big monkey. He's a big monkey. Yeah.
It's going to return to monkey. I think that fits Seth Rogen quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the casting is quite good in this movie.
But it doesn't have Best Girl. There's no Rosalina as far as I know.
Probably not. Yeah, I mean it can't. It's the first movie you gotta have.
I know,
you know.
I know. Well, there are Luma. You saw Lumas in the trailer.
Wait, really?
I swear I saw Lumas in the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
there is actually one in the
It's like in
it was in the
Bowser's,
final
like-
chapter. Locked up in Bowser's castle. Yeah,
Hmm.
where Luigi was unfortunately stranded.
Aw,
That awkward
Luigi.
image of Luigi having Bowser's fingers near him that's made its rounds on the internet, an unfortunate
no.
meme for.
Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, I think that looks fun, and I'm actually excited to see it. It's like Yamato-san was involved in it a lot, so who knows? Maybe it'll work out, right?
I hope so. I really hope so.
We are down bad for movies lately. You know, the Last of Us TV show was it was fine. I liked it. They managed to keep it mostly intact. You know,
That's good.
Like,
That's
they didn't
good.
do they didn't completely undo the games. They changed some things for the cringe. Like some reason the settlement had to be a commune, guys. It's a
Yeah,
commune, guys. We're communists. Like, ugh, woman, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty.
And Bella Ramsey can't act, but whatever. It's
Yeah.
she's a child actor. This is supposed to happen.
Huh.
But yes, so that was March in entertainment, I guess, from Ghost. Mountain Walk, are you gonna watch the Mario movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know when, but I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna love it.
Yellow Lantern,
Gonna
do you
be-
intend to as well? You intend to watch the Super Mario movie, Yellow
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Well, you aren't excited for Mario? Come on now. Come on now.
I like how much Miyamoto is involving himself, in the studio.
Yeah, that's
They're
definitely
treating it
a
like
good
they
thing.
care.
Mm-hmm.
Illumination movies can be hit or miss. I think they did all right with Despicable Me and the Minions movies. They're not, it's not high art, but it's better than like Ice Age or Madagascar or half the DreamWorks catalog. But anything DreamWorks that wasn't How to Train Your Dragon, and it's about on par with some modern Pixar's, I guess. Wall-E and Up excluded, of course. Like the standouts like that. But I don't know. I think it'll be fun, and I'm excited to see them succeed or fail.
Yeah. Should be sweet. Should be sweet, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good time. So
Yeah.
you've got that
All right,
article.
I'm gonna
You got
head off for tonight.
You got the article cooking. Yellow Lantern, Memory Eternalist on Substack, and Yellow Lantern 913. What's the Twitter handle? 19. I was close. I had to combine them. Yellow Lantern 19 on Twitter. If you would like to hear his opinions on news, politics, and history. Very, very particular knowledge about history that you won't find in many places. And it'll be history you probably never heard of.
I'm going to try to get a review out. Another post out, and then after that, I'll do a movie review. And once that's wrapped up, I'll go on my trip, and then after this, after that's done, I'll get back to business. So maybe I'll crank out. I'm going to try to crank out 2 posts, and then I'll go on my trip.
The Road.
Mm-hmm.
Only on Memory Eternalist at Substack.
Yes.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, comment, and give him the money or whatever.
Well, it's a
they do.
Substack, so subscribe.
Yes. Comment.
But like, rate, post, and all those
Send
things.
them hate mail. Send them hate mail.
But
Jefferson
stay
Davis.
safe in the storm, Yellow Lantern. Make sure you got your water and your supplies in case power goes out or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, that already happened.
Well, if it happens
Please?
again.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I've said enough. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Good
Good night, Yellow Lantern. Right, and then there were Tour.
So I was gonna say it, then there were 69, but damn it, you beat me to it.
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
What did I'm trying to think of what part of the stories of the day we missed. Most of it was, of course, consumed about talking about, the indictment. Oh no, lordy, no. I wish I could have gotten deeper into this part of the conversation, but I find it very interesting. The Ron DeSantis angle of all this story. Because as you'll know, I'm a big anti-Ron DeSantis person. He lost me at probably before the Mar-a-Lago raid. But just I know enough about his history to know he's a neocon through and through. He's just put on the skin of MAGA, to try to win over the current base. I get that, everyone's like, yeah, he dunked on Disney, and but they, use this weird clause, to get out of everything he demanded of them. But it's yeah, you're fighting culture wars, but yeah, I don't think he would be an economic nationalist. I think he'd be, fiscally a globalist. And, it's yeah, you fight some culture wars and sure, but you don't touch important issues or important things that affect the bottom line. You just he's definitely the example of, stay in your lane. And it's not what we need right now. We don't need a politician that plays nice and stays in their lane. We need politicians that are bulls in China shop that, knock over the apple cart just by existing. I think we're at that stage of we democracy now. I get the sense that
yeah, DeSantis. Unfortunately, I hope this is totally wrong, but he does seem just like, yeah, like a neocon, neo-lib that's just putting on the trappings of like Trump and the whole
Wearing the
MAGA
skin
thing.
of a much more
Yeah,
popular person, you know.
yeah, and so he would be just like Trump, but worse in the respect that he just wouldn't do anything that he sort of purports to want to do. Um, so yeah, I don't.
It's
I
just
just
so
don't.
it's just so managed and by the numbers, you know. It's like so much just
Yeah.
like everything feels like it was. He feels like he was created in like a weird test tube focus lab, you
Yeah,
know. And it's just
yeah.
like it. It
Yeah, our
stinks of
market
being.
research shows that like this is what
Yeah.
Republican voters want, and it's like
Yeah,
really.
you gotta say this, Ronnie. You gotta say this. But I don't believe that. We don't care. You've got to say this, okay? This is what they
Yeah.
want to hear. This is what you have to tell them. That's just it.
Yeah.
It's icky. You know, it's grody.
Yeah.
And you know, like it's hilarious too when you watch, you know, like the media act like he's the Antichrist. Oh my gosh, he's the biggest danger ever. And it's like it's just like really that guy, the neocon governor of Florida, who Jeb Bush, Paul Wright, everyone is like, ooh, you know, they're creaming their pants over because we can go back. We can go back to making lots of money. We can go back to what we used to do before, rubber stamping legislation for corporations. Mountain Walk, we have to go back.
We need to do it. We need to just, wait on corporations hand and foot. They give us so much money, that we have to do what they say, So, yeah, it's
Just want to go back to the way things were, you know? It's like,
yeah.
I'm like, it's like, no, I'm good, you know? I know what I want. He's there, and, there are people trying to arrest him. But, I found it very interesting that he said, I'm not going to extradite him from Florida. And I was like, he kind of had to say that. Like, because if he had said, like, I will cooperate to the full extent with the authorities on this, like,
Right.
I'd be just like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, no one would forgive him for that. It's like,
yeah, I'd be like, you're just pretending not to see this blatantly political prosecution by, that's like obvious that everyone can literally just see because they have eyes and ears that work. Like, and you're gonna just hand this person to the lions because, because you're also running for president, even though, he's not running. Yeah, he's running for president. Everyone, let's drop the fucking pretext here, okay? We're all adults here, okay? He's running for president, okay? It's not.
Yeah, there's no other Republican candidate that even is that would excite like the base, right? That would even get people out to vote. The rest are just like obvious neocons.
Well, you don't want to vote for Chris Christie? You don't want to vote for who is the governor? Larry Hogan? Well, you're not excited about Mike Pence? Well,
No,
what? No, look,
not
you
quite.
well, you know what? What was his name? The Secretary of State? Oh gosh, Mike Pompeo. You don't want to vote for Mike Pompeo?
Yeah, Mike Pompeo.
What do you mean, Mountain Walk?
Yeah,
You're not.
More neocons, please. Yeah.
Oh, Nikki Haley. You don't want to put.
Wow.
You don't want to put you don't want to put like another super neocon. You're not excited about Nikki Haley?
Oh man,
That was so funny when what's his name? Don Lemon was like, "Oh, she's past her prime," and it's like,
Yeah.
Don, you shoved your hand down your pants and shoved it in the face of a young man, but we're canceling you for calling the Indian woman old. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very strange sort of like priorities they have. I'm not sure how that.
Whoa! He did
but...
what? He called her old?
Uh oh.
Oh. Listen, one, Mr. Lamont, we cannot define. We can't know if Nikki Haley identifies as a man or a woman necessarily. So obvious bigotry there. But on top of that, assume that someone's age could have anything to do with both their mental and physical performance.
It's not good. Can't do that.
Now I'm looking at this performance review, Mr. Lamont, and I don't think you're keeping your job. Yeah, that story was hilarious to watch because it's like, I don't really want him to get fired. You know, I don't like him. I don't think he's a very interesting news person or has talent or interesting takes on the news. But like, really, over that?
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, you know what that is, Matt Walk? It's locker room talk.
Yeah.
His mistake wasn't that he said it. His mistake was that he was caught saying it.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's like the fact that no one really knows, like, what are the rules? What are the rules for appropriate speech? It just depends on our current goals at the moment. There are no, there are no hard and fast rules for this kind of thing. It's just sort
Yeah,
of
it's one of those
like,
things you're like, come on, really, guys? Nikki Haley, of all things?
Yeah.
That's the hill you're gonna die on?
yeah, apparently.
Nikki Haley?
apparently.
I mean, if she had nice milkers, it'd be one thing, but there's not really a
Right.
hill to die on there.
That's true.
You
Well,
know.
that's true. That's doubly true. So, yeah, it's pretty. It's just so confusing. I'm like, whatever. I get it's just basically just an exercise in pure power. Like, oops, oh nope, sorry, you said the wrong thing because we are currently giving a shit about how old some of like the people in the opposition party
How
are.
old
right?
some governor is. Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, because the president's really old, so you can't talk about this.
Holy shit. Yeah, speaking of that, like, what is he, like 100 or something?
He looks and acts like it. I mean, he's just. I mean,
Wasn't
I don't
Matt
know.
Walk. He was a bad dude who hung out with a lot of bad boys.
Hmm.
Oh, that's some amazing television.
Yeah.
One of those things
Yeah.
that you see and you can't like, you ever have that Matt Walk where like you see something that baffles you so much that you're like you think about it for like hours straight and you're just like, what the fuck were they talking about? I feel like that's how he is at all times, you know.
Yeah.
What was he saying? He said the killer came in with 2 AK-47s.
Yeah.
AK-47s. One of the most iconic firearms in existence. Right? Like, what's like an AR-15? You know, it's just an M4, right? But like, like it's like you misgendered an AK-47. Really?
Now that's the real crime. That's the real crime, if you ask me. You know, you can't look at a person and tell their gender, apparently, but you can look at a gun and see what kind of gun it is, right? So
It's like an AK-47. How many freaking movies did we see of the Mujahideen and all this? You know, like freaking with AK-47s. Like they're everywhere. They're ubiquitous,
No.
right?
True.
The most
True,
popular
that-
firearms in the world. And it's just like, yep, that's what that young woman, man, whatever it was using to kill those innocent children. They had 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like, for one, why the hell would anyone carry 2 AK-47s? Like, it makes no sense, right? Like, you have the unless you got like multiple calibers of rounds, maybe. But like, come on, really?
Did they expect one to randomly explode and then?
They'll
to
expect.
need a
You know, the
backup?
AK-47 says the other AK-47. I'm expecting one of us in the wreckage, brother. Have we started to fire AK-74? Yes, the fire rises, brother.
Yeah, I don't. Why would you bring 2 of
Like-
the same gun? I mean, was he dual wielding that? It's like,
No,
what
that's
is
the
going
thing.
on?
Like if you dual wield him, you'd blow your arms off from the kickback on him. Like, are you kidding? Like, unless you're a fucking Rambo or some shit,
Right,
and you're
right,
bracing
right.
him with like giant ass arms, which clearly the killer did not have giant ass arms. You saw them
No.
splayed out.
Yeah, it was definitely more looked more like a scarecrow. I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
Like, are you? Yeah, the idea that like they were carrying 2 AK-47s, like.
Just the more you
Bro,
have.
we're demonizing AR-15s today. Can you get it right, please? You're embarrassing us, Joe.
The more guns you have, the scarier it is. That's how it works. Just more guns equal more scary and bad.
I was playing this game, Escape from Tarkov, Mount Walk, and I had a friend, and he put 4 flashlight attachments on his weapon. So every time he turned on all the flashlights, he fucking shot the sun at whoever it was at. And it was going to melt all of the Legos, for sure. But it's like, that's how I feel like these people think guns are like, you know? It's just like, here, there's the chainsaw attachment. Makes it an assault weapon.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah,
I do love that with Elon in charge of Twitter, that gun Twitter is actually allowed to post basically again, you know?
That's good.
Like,
That's
gun Twitter is
definitely a good
allowed
thing.
to be like, you know, allowed to tell the truth and whatnot. You know, it's like it's nice. So thank you, Elon.
Hey, that's one good thing. That's at least one good thing. So,
You know, we
I'm
had
happy
an
about
interesting conversation about this whole thing, you know, about like guns, because it was like someone was talking about, you know, how, you know, there are people that are, you know, transgendered, and they're, you know, they're in fear for their life because, you know, there are laws that say that kids can't do it or something, and so they're going out and getting guns to defend themselves. It feels like, what do you guys think about it? It's like, I mean, honestly, whatever, you know, it's I think it's good for people to understand like their rights, you know, and to train with firearms and like understand that like it's not just a giant, you know, like death stick, you know, that kills anyone it touches, you know, like it's a responsibility and a tool and like a method for self-defense. Like, you know, I don't think these are overall like super smart people, but like it's one of those things that'll be a lot easier to get through to, you know, if someone that's handled a gun than someone that hasn't.
Right.
And it's like overall, you know, like, oh, boy, they could hurt someone, yeah, but also, you know, also by that same stretch, you know, like there's the value in just being like, you know, it's a firearm, it's a real thing, you've held it, you've handled it, you know, and it's like, if you can, you know, if that could get people past, you know, the you know, the specter of guns that's been created by Hollywood, the news, and the media, you know, that these are just
Well, it takes on like
killing.
a sort of magical quality. Like it's just this thing that
it
by
grounds
merely
them in reality.
existing. Yeah.
And I think that, like, you know, it's like people, you know, yeah, they might do something terrible, but if they're gonna do something terrible, they're gonna do something terrible, you know.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, if it's a gun or like a knife or
run
something
a
else.
bunch of people over at a Christmas parade, or a bomb, or stab a bunch of people, you know, like people are like, oh, you know, well, it's like if they stab them, people can run away. Yeah, can an 8-year-old run away from a grown adult stabbing them?
No.
Like, do you remember that guy in China who basically freaked out and killed like 20 kids?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the knife attacks, like in places like China, where they obviously have very strong gun laws. But yeah, exactly, same thing. Yeah, UK against very strong gun laws, but people just stab and kill people. I mean, what people are like,
London Bridge
they
attacks?
have a knife, you know, we can just totally defend ourselves or something. Like, I mean, what do you think everyone's like a fucking?
What, am I gonna open carry? Am I gonna open carry a knife? Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you're gonna be a fucking, you know, like it's gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel, whether they have a gun or a knife or whatever. Most people just are not trained in self-defense. Like, they're gonna be stricken and scared, and they're gonna get stabbed to death, and you're gonna be like, wow, well, thank God that wasn't a gun, because the exact same thing would have happened. Like, I mean, it's so stupid.
I mean, depending on the knife or the knife injury you get, it might be worse than a gun injury, you know?
Right, like a 9mm.
Like, if you get a clear shot through versus someone, you know, drags a blade across you, like,
right.
You know, obviously, you don't want to be shot, okay? You don't want to be stabbed.
Right.
But, like, you know, like it's people are gonna kill people, you know. And what? Oh, we banned guns. It's like, okay, well, I'd go to street corner, find a gangster, and be like, here's $1,000 cash. Give me your gun.
Right. I mean, this is stuff that already happens, even though they're legal, right?
You know, but Mountain Walk. Alternatively, I remember when they banned marijuana. I'm 100 years old. Okay, they banned marijuana. No one has ever smoked marijuana. Not even once. Not even remotely close.
It was a rousing success. No one's
done marijuana since. It's totally worked. foolproof.
Definitely not me. Definitely not me. So
Like
Yeah.
it's just this magical thinking that we just ban it and it disappears. Like that's literally not how anything works.
yeah, yeah. It's
It's
yeah.
tall, so firesome.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely. I'm just squinting Chinese man. Yeah, that's basically me at this point. It's like, really, we're doing this. I mean, everything has just become so stupid. Like, everything is just lowest common denominator stuff. And
Idiocracy was not supposed to be a documentary.
yeah, yeah. So I mean,
It
I don't
is,
know.
but it wasn't supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to be, but it already was. It already was. So yeah, pretty frustrating.
We're just gonna put off having kids for another 2 years.
Another 2 years, another 2 years, and it's another 2 years, and then another 2 years.
There's another one.
Yeah.
That movie I have,
Yeah.
what's his name? Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav, you mean?
Oh, Flavor Flav, yeah. Wasn't he president?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, for Idiocracy. No, it was Oh, it's the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Terry Crews.
Wait,
I think
you're
that's-
right! Holy shit! Holy shit, it was Terry Crews!
Yeah. President like Camacho or something like that. Yeah, that was sweet. That was pretty sweet.
Shit, Terry Crews, the guy who got,
Touched it. Yeah.
yeah,
Inappropriately.
appropriately, probed by his superiors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which to me,
I mean-
like, look, I understand, power imbalances, and, like, yeah, but, like, Terry, my dude,
Yeah.
you can
Should've
kill
just-
them.
Yeah.
Like-
You could have probably just flexed at the guy.
Thank you for the subscription on YouTube, Seek a Loather. Like Terry, like, you can kill this person, and literally no one would bat an eye.
Yeah. They'd be like, man, they really must have messed up. Terry Crews seems like a nice guy.
Terry Crews is a nice dude. Like, you see him,
Yeah.
in like TV shows. He's doing like the Old Spice ads, and
Yeah.
it's like. Although you saw about the who was it? The army had like this guy they were using for like recruitment ads,
Mhm.
and he was accused of like physically beating his spouse or something.
Wow, that's not good. Don't do that, guys.
No, dude,
that's
that
really bad.
it was not good, and so they had to take all those ads down. And it's like, ooh, guys, you are not the best judges of character.
Yeah, apparently. Maybe that should have been a question on the interview, right? It's like, have you ever?
Look, one
or
last
will you
question.
ever?
Do you have any thoughts about, just a little simple interview
Spousal
question?
abuse.
Spousal abuse. We can't, we're the army, okay? We have a strong brand we have to protect, okay?
Yeah, we don't hurt people. Well, we don't hurt people like that.
Well,
You know what we're trying to say.
you know the thing.
The thing. You don't do that. You don't do
The
that.
John Carpenter film.
The thing. Oh yeah, that. Oh, I can't believe it. Fucking army. What are you guys doing? What? Not very thorough interviews, are there? Background checks, maybe.
All I'm saying is we need more extreme vetting.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme vetting, even for our vets.
Yeah, dang it, I was gonna make that joke. Son of a bitch. Alright, fine. I'll let you have it.
Ghost
You can
with
have
the
that
slam
joke.
dunk.
Slam dunk.
That's actually a good anime.
Oh, I haven't actually watched it. Or
Is
read the
Kuwabara
manga.
plays basketball to try and win the affection of some young girl. Basically, that's the entire premise. It's
That's-
it's
that's
Kuwabara
awesome.
from Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's funny. I like it.
Whoa,
I like
Yusuke, my dude.
it.
That's not straight bussin', no cap, for real, Yusuke.
I like it. I think I think you already sold me on it. I'm like,
What?
oh, that's good. That's good. That's not a bad impression. I got to admit. That's a good Kuwabara. Oh shit. Yeah, Slam Dunks. I think that ended what just last year or
Oh,
the year
they
before or
finished it?
something. I'm pretty sure. Let me check.
It's
Pretty
so
sure.
old.
I think that one was around for about 1,000,000 years.
10,000 years. We have been slam dunking basketballs in an endless competition. And now, the tournament of basketball powers has come to our city. And only one of us can emerge victorious and win the heart of Fair Maiden.
Let's see.
This
Mega.
is the slam dunk.
Nope, I must have been thinking of a different sports anime. Yeah, because this one was from 1990 and 96 was the manga, and then the original anime was like 93 to 96 too. So yeah, although obviously I think there's a new anime for Slam Dunk or something. I don't know.
Wait, they
Anyway.
did it again? They can't keep getting away with it!
Yeah, I can't keep getting away with it. Terrible. It's
Every
great. Yeah,
time.
I'm good stuff. Good
The
stuff.
notorious terrorist Sam Hyde.
Oh no, not Sam. Not again, Sam. You'd think he'd learn his lesson after the first 10 times of getting away
Minecraft,
with
right,
it.
Sam?
Dude, when's Sam Hyde gonna be a character in Smash Brothers? That's that would probably scare all
Probably in the
the
4chan Redux.
I think if you add Sam Hyde to Smash, I think you would probably have far fewer pedos. In fact, look, it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. You probably get far less pedos, and there's no real cost to doing it, to having a Sam Hyde character, right? So, yeah, that's something that Nintendo should look into, right? Get in touch with my good buddy Sam. He'll
In
he'll
touch with
tell
his
you what's
agent.
up. Get in touch with his agent, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'll that'll be great.
See, hide, and seek.
Uh,
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait, Malwar! Wait!
huh? What's up?
Holy shit, I've thought of it. Sam Hyde needs to run a prop hunt competition and call it hide and seek.
What the hell's a prop hunt? Is that like a?
Like it's like hide and seek, the old
Oh, okay.
children's game.
Oh, sweet, sweet. Hell yeah, that'd be hella sweet. I freaking
That is how Hassan and him will settle their differences.
Hassan Piker, isn't that the guy that's the buffalo, the water buffalo's like nephew or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how they have to settle it, dude. It's like, you mean in the ring? No, I meant in real life. No, let them settle it. Let them settle it in a game of hide and seek. A high stakes game of hide and seek. You can do like an anime death game of it.
Yeah.
The winner will have their wish granted. The loser will die.
Is it just me? But I can't bring myself to like dislike Cenk. I just think he's so funny, and his manner of speech is just
He's so comically bad that it's like his own flavor of good.
Yes, I can't not like it. I can't not like it. There's something about it that is just like
I can't keep looking away from it.
yeah.
He's just so terrible in like every different way that it's just like,
of course.
yeah, he's just so uniquely bad and terrible that it's mesmerizing.
Yeah, it's just I can't help it. Sometimes I'll just watch it. I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't know. There's something about it that's just.
He's just so terrible, and I love it.
Yeah. Can't help it. Oh, Cenk. Oh, good shit.
Good old chunk yogurt.
What else happened this week? I know there's got to be. Was there anything about like the East Palestine stuff this week? I haven't seen anything about that for a minute.
Yeah, I think it's been swept off the front page. I don't think they're having like further health issues. All these things, of course, are good things.
Yeah. Back to. Oh, Here's an interesting one. I just opened up a thing from the New
What
York
is
Times.
what does the news say about East Palestine?
Justice Department sues Norfolk Southern over East Palestine derailment. The lawsuit seeking to claw back cleanup costs under the Clean Water Act accuses the Georgia-based rail company of putting profits over safety. But I mean that doesn't make any sense because like the regulations for the stuff was rolled back. Here, let me go ahead and link this in the story thingy. Suggest story thingy. Let's from the New York Times. All right, I'll just read a little bit of it, but it basically says Justice Department sued Norfolk Southern late Thursday, asking it to pay cleanup costs and penalties under the Clean Water Act after the catastrophic train derailment and chemical spill last month in East Palestine, Ohio. 28-page complaint filed on behalf of the Environmental Protection Agency in the Northern District of Ohio charges the railroad and its parent company with 2 violations of the Clean Water Act. One accused it of unlawfully polluting the nation's waterways, and another was related to a measure that allows the government to recover damages from companies that break environmental laws. Norfolk Southern, a railway company based in Atlanta that operates in the eastern United States, should cover the, quote, full cost of the environmental cleanup, the Justice Department said. Of course,
Oh, the
I mean,
Justice
I know,
Department was involved. I was afraid something might get done.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure they'll really do something. I mean, I don't know if this is like just
We'll get
one of
right
those
on it,
things.
boss. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like are they just gonna give him a slap on the wrist? Is this just to make the government look good, right? I mean, these are the guys that did deregulate.
I'm gonna slap at
these
yo. I'm
things.
gonna slap at yo.
This slappy slap slap. Yeah,
That is my favorite Richard Spencer impersonation. To be fair,
It's beautiful. That's a good one. That's a good one. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the government itself didn't send anything to East Palestine or any money or cleanup stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess all the money has just been earmarked for Ukrainians, right? Because that's very important. So,
listen, Matt
Um,
Walk. Ukraine's borders are very important.
yeah, well, you got look the sanctity of a
If they
nation's
don't have borders, they
sovereignty.
don't have a country. Mountain Walk.
That's right. That's literally something they would say, wouldn't they? That's yeah. So just
It's hard because, like, I don't support sending any money to Ukraine, but I can't really support Russia because it's like, hey guys, can you like not fuck around? I would rather not find out.
please don't launch any nukes into our cities. I didn't do anything. So yeah. But if you do, could it be like New York or maybe LA? Wait, not LA. Maybe not LA.
Oh, wait a minute, Matt Walk, no!
Oh no. Look, just send the nukes to places where people I don't like live. Avoid
Just
the
send them
places
far
where.
away from me, okay?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That's who knows what the hell the outcome of that's going to be like. It's pretty obviously we don't have infinite money, even though we would like to pretend we do. So I don't think
Walk, counterpoint, Control V.
Control Control V. Yeah, just make like some sort of macro. Yeah, we're just Control V at the printer, and then yeah, bam, there you go. You get infinite money. More.
I didn't say it was the right solution, Matt Walk. I've outlined what their solution is.
Yeah. That's,
Listen, what we need to do is tax you all more, use that as collateral to borrow more money we don't have, to spend more money we don't want to use, in order to buy things you don't want us buying.
yeah, there you go. Easy peasy. So yeah, that's depressing. So I mean,
You know the
does
meme where it's like 3 black dudes following like a woman with a big ass? Like, what is that? I've
not
heard it
seen
was like
that
an old
game.
cartoon or something. Oh, you haven't seen it?
Mm-mm.
Let me find the one of the shooter from Tennessee.
Okay.
Uh. It was being posted all day. But all the Bochi the Rock memes have been pretty good.
Wait, what? I haven't seen those either.
Let me first say this because this is
Okay. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another beer.
I actually have to use the bathroom. Right. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. I have returned now. Ah, yeah. All right, let's check out this meme while Ghost is away. Oh, wow. I have not seen this meme before, but that's really funny. I am laughing. Excellent. Excellent work. All right, guys, I also have a beer right now, which is wonderful. Everything's good. Everything's good to go. I don't live in East Palestine or Ukraine, for that matter. So,
All right, Mount Walk. Have you seen? Did you see the meme?
yes, I don't know where that came from, but it's pretty funny. It's, I wish I feel like I'm missing a joke, even though it's just funny to look at. It's just, yeah. Yeah. On a scale of like 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 7. I don't quite know exactly what is being referenced, but their faces are funny.
I know.
The presentation of
Why?
the shooter herself is quite good. So
it's so. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's it's just their expression, man.
They're so excited. I'm so excited.
I know. They're gonna go head eyes there.
Oh no. They're definitely thinking about misgendering that person for sure. That's
So terrible, Mount Walk. How do people survive the horror of that?
I don't know.
No.
I,
It's like
one time I shot a bunch of children and I was misgendered and it was like the worst day of my life. You know, it's absolutely horrible.
I can't imagine what you went through, and I just want you to know, Mount.
Thank you.
Survivor, you are not defined by your limitations, but by your
Thank you. Thank you, Ghost.
potential to commit horrible acts.
That means a lot to me. Means a lot.
So I've always been a believer in Mountain. And I couldn't leave her if I tried.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Because I saw her face. Out of my mind. Not a trace.
No more. No more.
Ooh.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We have defeated Mount Walk with weaponized cringe.
Yeah. That's you have. I am dead. I am dead. You
I thought
got
weaponized cringe was banned by the Geneva Convention.
me. It should have been. It should have been.
No, we have more.
More. That meme always gets me.
That image is so funny, though.
I can't help but laugh every time I see that. I'm just like, this shit's great. Every time I see that meme, so funny.
What?
So funny.
I just love their expressions so much. It's just so like
Beautiful.
they're gonna get that
You get that booty.
spree. They're gonna get that spree shooter Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only person that thinks that the what's the spread of like the let's just put Ussy at the end of everything has been a cancer and a blight on our society?
Yeah, that one's like not that.
It's so
funny. It's kinda
overused.
Yeah.
You know, it's like every other person, just like, oh yeah, you know, oh look, there's a hot spider chick. It's the Spussy, my dude. It's like, what? Like, come on, is that nothing more creative? You know, and like, what about like Sexarella or something like? No. It's everything just the word Ussy on the end of it. We're done. Go home.
Yeah.
We've achieved peak. We've peaked.
We've peaked. Yeah.
We've peaked as a civilization. It's
about to
over.
say.
It's so over, Matt Walk. We're reaching levels of over that shouldn't be possible.
I would say in the 60s when we decided to, destroy the fabric of our country with like destroying families, and obviously not all the civil rights stuff was bad. Obviously some was very good, but like a lot of it was an attack on the family. I would say at least since the 60s, things have been not good. That was like the high peak. It was like, oh, we did some good stuff for a bit, and then we just.
But now what? Can we get much higher?
Really?
Can we even get higher?
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we can get any higher? No, I think we get a lot lower. Obviously, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to speed run the destruction of a country. Like Rome, it took like, a couple centuries. We're just going to be like, I can probably do it in an afternoon. We could probably do it in an afternoon. Just shit all over ourselves. It's like
we live in a society, Mount Walk.
Yeah. It's like, it's funny.
Mount Walk, if you walked past me on the street and saw me dying, you would leave me in a ditch there.
I just get so worked up sometimes. Just think about this stuff. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like it's so funny just watching. Because like when the Occupy Wall Street happened, which is like what 2012 or something. It was like, wow, this seems like this is really great. Like maybe we'll get like reforms on some things or whatever. And then it's like, yeah, I know, right? And then watching in real time as like basically an entire political party.
So we're here. I'm a gender non-conforming. I'm here to talk to you about how we're going to make our protest more equitable. I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about banks, being reckless and wrecking the entire economy. Who are you? Who are you, and who are you cosplaying?
Yeah, it's
We're trying to have a serious conversation here. Oh, we're dead serious about this.
Yeah, it's like they sort of figured out that like why buy just one side of the political spectrum when you can buy both? It's like, sure, it's more expensive and, it takes more time, it's more difficult, but like, you can just control everything that way. And you can,
Well, the good thing is they can't control everything. But it will not
well,
stop them from
yeah.
trying to control everything.
Yeah, at least like in the general sense, not like literally every single thing like a puppet master, so to
What,
speak.
not
but
everything
like, yeah,
everywhere all at once? Which I've heard is actually a good movie.
I've also heard the same thing. But yeah, just in general, like the big broad stroke stuff, like making legislation, appointing people to certain positions, making NGOs, that kind of thing. Uh, yeah, like for example, who's the think tanks, right? So who's sort of like broad ideas and philosophies and stuff they'll sort of try and implement.
What about broads?
No, I don't think nothing that cool. They'll just be like, nope. Anything that's based, we're not going to do it. We're going to do cringe. We're just going to do cringe. So yeah. So yeah, like in the I mean, think about like from 2012, yeah, to like 2023, right? Just
Are you
how.
telling me that today is going to be the day that they give it all back to you?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Do you think I wouldn't recognize Oasis? I love that song, by the way.
Is that the name of that song? I thought the song's name was Wonderwall.
Yes, and there's actually a Magic deck named after that because it plays a bunch of walls. So it combos out, it kills your opponent with walls, which is funny. So, yeah.
I have an idea for an alternate art card for that.
Oh yeah, is it just the art from their album?
No, it's just the wall man himself on it.
Ooh, all right. That sounds amazing. I want to see it.
Look, I think the only appropriate thing to do, I think they must ask President Trump to take his black vows and send him to the wall. I think that's the only thing they can do at this point, man.
Yeah, you gotta take the black. You gotta take the black, Mr. Trump. You gotta go to your wall. It's this is how it works.
Hey man, lucky for him, Melania has definitely not hit the wall yet.
She's like half his age, or well, not half, but she's like 40 something, right? She's still pretty good looking.
Yeah, she's got doesn't have a ton of mileage on her.
A ton of mileage on her. Yeah, only one previous owner. Yeah.
Was she married?
Oh man. Good.
Lightly
good
ridden, previously owned.
Yeah, well taken care of. Yeah, was it refurbished, renovated, whatever? Yeah. Oh man.
Lightly refurbished.
Yeah. One previous owner, all taken care of, low mileage. Good shit. Oh yeah, what'd you end up doing this week? Anything interesting?
Well, today was my day off, so I chilled today.
Nice.
But, just knocking out reports and shit. I'm gonna watch Mario movie next week. Been playing games, having a good time.
Sweet. Very sweet.
I did that before I triggered you with the Oasis song.
I love Oasis. I love Oasis. It's so great. But I won't let you trick me every time you're just trying to randomly sing lyrics. It's like, you don't think I don't know that song? You don't think I don't know that song?
Isn't today?
Oh no. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. I know it's here. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That one, right?
Yeah. What about that one? Which I hate.
Apps.
Yeah.
Noise, skin that GPU, Merc. But it's interesting, me. I'm always happy when more people own guns because
Mm-hmm.
I think we're better as a society when more people have an understanding of the important rights. The Second Amendment, the Second Amendment, and the First Amendment.
wouldn't be surprised if they tried to use this whole situation as a way to rally support from more right-wing individuals for gun control. Just
Yeah.
because, oh,
They
you don't like
murdered a
these
bunch of children. It's like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you could probably murder a lot more with like homemade bombs and stuff. I mean, I don't like what.
Sarin gas.
Yeah, you need to give up all your rights because one person did a bad thing. I mean, this is like the. I mean, this is such a stupid argument. Like, this is so baseless. It's like, yeah, people can do bad stuff regardless of whatever laws you have. So, I mean, what is that? What does
In
it even
fact,
matter?
people will do that, especially if you let them
Yeah.
out of prison.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially if you don't prosecute them or release them early or whatever, So
You know, it's like
yeah,
the whole thing with like the student loan debt forgiveness. You know, like, wait, why would anyone pay this?
well, yeah, I mean, it's well, I think from what I've read of it, it's like the way that they're doing it is because it's like not that the government can't forgive them, but that it's basically like they're paying out all this money to repay the debts or something like that.
Well, I mean, the answer is the government isn't legally allowed to do it, but
Right.
the government's hope is that they'll get to, federal court before they could out summarily by a judge saying, look, you're literally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna turn out. I mean, we'll have to see what's going on there because what was it this month where they started looking into the case where the Supreme Court was like starting to review it or whatever the hell they do.
And they leaked the draft opinion?
No, not yet, not yet. No, probably because like it was or wasn't favorable. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll do that shit again. So that was pretty strange, but yeah, we'll have to see what's going on there. I don't know. Who knows what the hell will happen? I mean, honestly, like I'm just waiting for our economic system to collapse. The way things are going right now, it's not. I mean, like obviously not like tomorrow, but within I don't know next 10 years or something.
I don't think it would be unreasonable for there to be an economic collapse in the near future. I mean, if you're talking about a full societal collapse, I think probably take a few more economic collapse.
Right. I mean, obviously, like the Great Depression, which was quite big, didn't destroy our society, right, completely.
Well, the Great Depression, honestly, probably would have sorted itself out if they had left it alone.
Well, no. I mean, come on. You just need more New Deal policies. Just more New Deal policies. Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's his name? Magneto, More! Show me more. No. More. Perfection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just needed Roosevelt in there for like another term, like 5 terms. That would have been, and then we would have had a Great Depression that definitely wouldn't have lasted like, I don't know, 10 years or something.
Roosevelt's kind of like the guy that it's like, you'd be cool to hang out with, but why the fuck would I make you a leader?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen like pictures of him with his shirt off, where he's just like, and look, I know this is gonna get oddly sexual, but like, he's got like weird like Babe Ruth bod, basically, where it's like, you're not fat, like you're clearly not fat, but you're clearly not, like you're clearly built because you're an athlete, obviously.
Right.
But I can't put my finger up you on it. Sorry, I'm not Don Lemon.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got sort of from Teddy, right? I guess, the sort of Roosevelt build, but yeah, didn't exactly get the not the best version of it, not the best dad bod version of it. He got like the weird, creepy, like serial killer version of it. So pretty unfortunate, but he paid for that. He did have to be in a wheelchair, and he did get polio and stuff. So You know, that
Oh
was.
my. Rip and pepperoni, I suppose.
Yeah, Rip and pepperoni for sure. Yeah, yeah, we just needed a few more New Deal policies. That probably would have fixed everything. You know, just just more central planning, more government handouts. Like that would have fixed
Come on,
everything.
why would government say that the solution to solving a problem is to just do the thing that gives them more power, Mount Walk? That's conspiracy talk.
I know why. Why would they ever want to do that? That's crazy. Good
Thought
point.
today was going to be the day that they gave it all back to you.
Shut up.
Right now, I didn't even have a clue.
Uh,
Believe that
I
anybody
feel the way I do
I do
about you
about
now.
you now.
But maybe you're gonna be
You're
the one that
saves
saves
me. Because after all,
You're
my
my
dino
wonder
wall.
wall. No.
Up against the dino wall.
Ugh. Ah, good shit. Good shit.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Good
yeah, it's getting
times.
pretty late. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to.
I'm actually going to close up this portion of the stream and come back after it. But Mountain Walk, thank you so much
Sweet.
for finding the time to return. The return! I mean, yeah, I know you'd been here like a month ago. But appreciate you, man. Any Magic the Gathering videos coming up?
I released one today, and let's see. I again
What was
still
its
working
topic?
on. Today it was about just another recap of the tournament of Magic and just going through the decks that made.
That's
top
like
8.
where they get the Goblet of Fire, right? And where Harry,
Yes.
wanted to
Yeah.
date that bussin' chick.
Yes, exactly.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah. The Slytherin and the Ravenclaw. Yeah, Hufflepuff. Yeah, that's really what I was focused on mostly. So.
That image though, with the killer, the three guys.
There was like the Phoenix thing, and then like the wands and Expecto Patronus or
Rodin.
something. Patron, I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, still working on more videos, more long form, longer, takey, timey videos, which is just driving me nuts. Just because it's taking so long to write everything and make it like not shit. But
Walk, have you tried making it not shit?
yeah, that's the part that's driving me nuts. So that's okay. We'll figure it out. But yeah, same old shit with me, just working and derping around and shit. So yeah.
Yep.
But-
No, I feel you. Now, before I have you go, I saw some people, they were arguing, they were doing the like, oh, Catholic priests and kids, thing, and like versus, and someone was like, oh, well, the public school teachers do it way more, and it's like, I was like, okay, well, I just want to check the data, and it's like, yeah, it's like 29,000 to 200, but here's the thing. Do you know what the count of public school teachers is in the country?
Like a gajillion.
Like 4 million. You know what the count of Catholic priests in the country?
Not that much.
29,000.
Yeah.
So,
like
basically, for every school,
yeah.
every Catholic priest, there's 137 school teachers. So even though the ratio is like 145 to 1, it's like, well, yes, but context for that,
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously like, yeah, they're different things, especially since, I mean, I don't know how it is for like school teachers.
But I also think
when
teachers
they're
are probably
caught.
the most common to be like repeat offenders,
Sure, yeah.
like
Yeah.
repeat offenders because they have that rapport with them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that the Vatican basically does turn a blind eye, including the current Pope, who just literally just shuffles them around to different places, and that's them taking care of.
I'm
the
just
issue.
trying to figure out what part of the Bible they were like, listen, if thy priest sins and sticks finger and plop plop of young boy, send
Yeah,
him
it's
to
not-
Argentina.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, that's not that's not in the Bible, and I mean, obviously, they don't tell you like, oh, this is what exactly how the church should be run. But typically, yeah, you want to. These are things that would get you defrocked. So basically, you
Yeah.
wouldn't be a priest anymore.
And there
I
are
mean,
things
and
that
of course, there'd
should
be
get you
civil
defrocked.
charges. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like again, the current pope and like some of these guys have been very lenient on it for whatever reason, which I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously, like Catholic priests, at least, they can't get married, which was a very strange, weird thing. Not saying that that would actually fix the issue, but it is pretty weird and can like create all sorts of issues. I guess maybe leading to these kind of things. Um, so yeah, I don't. I don't know. It's weird. It's bad, and I'm not sure why the Vatican isn't doing anything about it other than just them just not caring, or like maybe
Maybe they just want to
even
make their
being like,
lives easier, you know? Like, do we really
yeah,
have to deal with Terry, the touchy priest?
yeah. I mean, it's very confusing,
It's
and very
just tough.
disheartening. Yeah, yeah,
I think that, it's like it's just as bad, when teachers do it, but it's like you're supposed to be a person that they can trust,
right, right.
supposed to be, someone who's in charge and responsible, and you've taken that trust and corrupted it into something, it's just terrible.
Right. Yeah. And on that extremely depressing note,
Now, you can catch him on YouTube at the YouTube channel.
yes. Yeah, Mountain Walk just on YouTube, one word, easy peasy, very
Learn
autistic.
all
very,
about Magic the Gathering.
Oh boy.
Recent tournament only this
Yeah.
week. If only I had the Foilcast theme.
It's so good. That theme's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have original music for my stream too.
Oh really? Very based. I didn't know that. That's cool. Like
Yep.
for the intro and outro stuff, or
For the intro, yeah. Well, I have two different
nice.
intro songs. I need a good outro one.
Ooh, yeah.
I should record a cover of some song. I just don't know what. Or I should write an original one.
Oh,
My tenor of voice.
just cover Wonderwall. I mean, you.
But maybe Mountain Walk. Maybe.
Oh, no. Oh,
All
I
right,
love it.
Mountain Walk. Thanks for making the time. Thank your boss for giving you the last Friday off. Happy April Fool's Day. Don't worry about April Fools. There are plenty of people that are fools every day of the year. But today, we can all act like fools. So believe nothing you see today. Trust nothing except the plan.
Trust no one. Thank you, Mulder. All right.
Just
All right,
for this
Tito.
day, okay? All right, Mountain Walk. Have a great night.
Bye.
All right, we had Mountain Walk, we had Yellow Lantern, and we had Geeky as we discussed all the news, politics, and everything that had happened this week. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to end this portion of the stream so Coast to Ghost is self-contained within it. Then I'm going to start a post-show stream right after, and I'll be playing some games over there, and I'll see you guys on the other side. So, without further ado, I will see you all on the other side.